Or where does this go live at? On Twitch?
We're live everywhere.
YouTube,
Right now.
Facebook.
Hold on here. Are we live? Oh, yeah, we're live. See, Danny, you're not used to live.
I'm not used to
You're
live.
not used to live at all. This might freak you out.
I'm really freaked out right now.
I know. You looked a little high, too, just to be honest with you.
Okay, now I can see you.
If we're totally just being, not bullshitting, you look like you walked in stoned as hell.
Not stoned as hell, slightly stoned.
Yeah. And
comfortably stoned.
There you go. Comfortably. I love it. So anyway, this is my welcome to the after show. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge show. It's live on YouTube. It's live on Facebook. It's live on the Bubba Army app. It's live on Bubba Army Radio, and then we take it and repurpose it, and other pieces, parts as well. It's going to be basically like a little dingleberry of views compared to the kind of massive views you're used to. I mean, we're going to be like a little herpes flare up compared to full blown AIDS. But nonetheless, we try hard, and we are your former local favorite radio show. So now, Danny, by the way, welcome, Danny. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? Thanks for having me on your show. This place is incredible.
Yeah, well, we got a lot to talk about because Danny and I are friends now officially, Anna.
Yeah.
Now, Anna, last time when I was on Danny's Concrete podcast, I was messing around with this stuff he had on the counter, and it's called and it's the world's strongest smelling salts, okay? But Danny and I was hitting them, and Danny kept saying, listen, that's great, but if I had a brand new bottle, oh my God, you don't even understand. I'm like, whatever, Danny, this is good enough. I love it. Taking big old hits off of them. And so Danny, as a token, comes in today and offers a nice little gift, and he has a brand new bottle of this stuff, right?
No, it's
So he's got a brand new bottle, right? Now, when I open it up, and automatically, the minute I go to open the little protective, paper, it pops. Blitz, you heard it, did you not?
It popped.
It go poop, like it had pressure underneath it. So I'm assuming this stuff builds pressure, and I'm getting the very, very first hit. So I take a hit of it like I did at Danny's place, but Danny's stuff was a year plus old, so I didn't know. Woo! Holy shit!
Does it wear off immediately?
No, I mean
I'm not familiar with it at all.
No. Yeah, of course it wears off. It just
immediately. How long is the high?
I mean,
I'm scared to try.
I wouldn't.
It's
call
ammonia.
I wouldn't call it a high.
Okay.
It just fucking bam! It just gets you. It starts your motor.
Oh yeah,
Bam!
right to the brain.
So Anna, I know you're afraid.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about making Lummy. Now, Lummy, here's the deal. Stay right there.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw this to you.
Okay.
And can you beat Lummy Gronkowski and not miss?
yeah.
Because I'm going to throw a beautiful pass, okay?
Bubba Brady.
All right. Now, do as instructed and don't
Don't keep it too
don't
close.
do what I tell you to do. You hear me?
Yeah.
Train professionals on this stuff, okay?
Yeah, I
Now,
can smell it now.
You can already smell it?
Lummy, here's what I want you to do.
Yeah.
First of all, I want you to shake it up. Okay.
Oh God!
Now-
Is it gonna explode?
No, it's not. Good being a bitch. No, it ain't going to explode.
my
Listen to
role.
me. So, now, Lummy.
Whoa.
Lummy.
Yes.
I want you to undo it.
Yep.
Then I want you to go like this. Take a big one. Yeah. Fuck.
What do you feel? What do you feel?
Danny, have you ever hit one right out of the bottle? Of course you have. Of course you have.
Oh yeah.
And you have to shake
Not
it.
new like this though. You gotta be 6 inches away and make sure you don't. You gotta close your eyes. Or
Well,
else
Yeah.
that'll
Bubba put
burn
his
your
nose
retinas
right on the
out of
Hey,
bottle.
hold on,
Yeah.
Danny. I put my shit right on the bottle.
shit.
Yeah, the eyes.
Oh
you,
my
Fuck
God.
I feel like I just did 7 lines of cocaine.
I know.
feel it in
That's
the
what
eyes.
it's like. So you don't even have to take this off.
Well, you're supposed to keep that on, aren't you?
Yeah.
As an extra
Well-
seal, kind of. Because you at your station, you had yours kind of just peeled back a little bit.
I think they nerfed it a little bit.
What do you mean nerfed it?
Oh.
Yeah. Oh
you
yeah.
can smell through the bottle.
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah, Danny. Ride that bitch out. Fuck yeah.
I feel like someone just shoved a knife up
That's
my
a
nose.
fresh. That's a
wanna try it?
fresh batch right there, Danny Jones.
I took a little in the mouth.
Fuck yeah. Now Anna, over to you.
Not too close.
But get a good old hoard off that.
Should I open it?
You kind of like when I was like
Waff it. Man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that hurt.
Anna, we're on the radio, baby. Get up in here. I mean, we're on the air.
like it. I
What
don't
do
like
you mean you
it.
don't like it?
I don't like it. Mm-mm.
I got it in my mouth.
Can I give it back to you? Can I throw it to
Oh,
you?
no,
I think I just blinded myself.
Give one to Lummy, and Lummy, you take one big, nice one.
He already did.
No, he didn't take it. You know what? You took the lessest one of all, Lummy. You
Who,
really
me?
did. Yes.
I got it in my mouth.
Danny and I really took him like men's.
I don't know.
Yeah, take it like a man's. Take it like a man's. I want to look at. I can see you physically. I want that. No. I want that bottle to the nose.
Okay.
Bottle to the
You gotta
nose.
peel off- you gotta peel off the.
Peel off the tape deal.
He's already crying.
Come on, Lummy. This isn't known to. I'm like I fucked you up on the chip deal. I'm not gonna fuck you up on this. Hit it. Yeah, there you go. Clear that shit the fuck out, buddy.
Woo! Holy shit.
That's just brutal.
That is
Oh.
fucking the best. All right, now get it up here. Don't hit my fucking camera either. Go ahead. Let's see.
Nice.
We're now that we got our mindset here. That's the type of setup you need for a Danny Jones guy like this.
Oh yeah, that shit'll get you. That shit'll get you fired up
Guy
first thing
that's
in the
got
morning.
almost 600,000 in the morning. I've been up since 2 a.m.
You do that every day?
You probably
Hell no.
You probably
No
just
way.
got up, didn't you, buddy? The life of Danny Jones.
I got up about an hour ago. I got up about 9.
Now, if you were to walk us through a daily life of Danny Jones, how would it go?
A daily life of Danny Jones?
Yeah, like the daily life of Bubba Clem is I get up about 2:30. I try to go to the gym. I get to the studio about 5 o'clock. And then I'm out of here about 12 or 1. And then I go home and decompress for an hour and then start returning phone calls and doing things for the show.
Yeah.
That's kind of my...
Maybe
and
you
then
bike a little.
I take my pills at 4 o'clock, and I'm usually passed out by 7. That's my world. Now,
Okay, yeah.
let's see Danny Jones's world with now, mind you, you got a wife and a child, another child on the way.
Oh,
You know,
congrats.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much.
600,000 subscribers on your fucking YouTube channel, big slinging dick. Just, secretary full of fucking phone calls, asking people, denying people access to your program because you're just so booked.
No.
Sorry, Danny Jones is not going to speak with you. You only have 118,000 subscribers. He doesn't deal with that bullshit except Bubba. So, Danny, what is the average life for you, buddy?
No, it's not like that. My life is actually really fucking boring. I wake up probably between it depends how early my kid wakes up, but probably like 6:30, 7.
All right.
And then hang out with him in the morning. We eat breakfast. We eat breakfast, make him lunch, take him to school, and that's probably about 9 o'clock.
Now,
9 o'clock.
does your wife work?
My wife, no, she's a full-time mom.
Well, why is Danny Jones getting him for breakfast? Why isn't Mama doing that?
Well, she does sometimes, but I usually wake up the same time they do, and
okay.
we all hang out. And,
You actually are a good dad and like to,
I like to participate in my kid's life.
Perfect. You're calling me a piece of shit. Anyway, continue on, Dan. Now, do you make the lunch?
Sometimes I make the lunch. Yeah, sometimes.
Now, do you ever make the kid eat the lunch there, or does the kid ever have to eat school lunch?
No, well, he's only 2.5 years old. I don't think they do that.
Oh, yeah.
They might do it, but no, we pack him lunch every day.
Right, because he's not in regular school yet. He's in like pre-K.
Yeah, he's in like the pre-K deal with
I don't
the
think
2-year-olds.
regular school starts till like maybe 5 or 6. Something like that.
I think you're right.
That's when you and Mama can fuck during the day because you have a little more time.
Yes, exactly.
But don't you have another one on the way?
Yeah, we got another one due in September, actually.
Jesus, Danny.
Do you know what you're having?
Yeah, another boy.
Ooh.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's cool. Another boy, and you're doing September.
Due in September.
Then
so
what, though? Like
hands are going to be full. And she saw the clip of you telling me not to have 3 because it's 20% gross each.
She did.
She saw that, and
And then what? How did that go over?
she wasn't too stoked on it. But
Am
you got to
am
make
I
sure.
allowed? If I, many wives have banned me from being friends with their husband. Am I officially banned from being Danny Jones's friend?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
You'll get an extra point for the little gift you got me for my son.
When you guys are slicing it all up and things have gone awry, I'm gonna get an extra percentage point because I saved you on an extra kid kicker.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if she had her way, she wants 3, right?
Yeah, she definitely wants 3. She definitely wants a girl. 2 boys. Well, we're gonna have 2 boys. She'll probably end up wanting a 3rd. So
yeah, and
we'll see what happens. But 20%, 60%. 60%.
I could be wrong though. On that.
You gotta just keep trying until you get a girl.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
there
or
you
you
go.
could get a
I still have 6 left.
fucking kids.
You could get a secret vasectomy and just come in her, and she never knows that you're really not fertile.
A secret vasectomy.
Yeah, listen,
Do you know anyone who's done that?
Yeah.
Really?
He's like, me.
All right, let me ask you a question. I want you to be totally honest.
Okay.
Is there ever periods of time, and I'm sure that there has, because your wife is now pregnant and she's at the point where once a woman gets pregnant and she's about this far along, they don't feel so sexy and they really don't want to fuck a lot. I mean, like there's
Pregnant women don't want to?
Well, I mean, no,
pregnant
hold
women
on.
usually are hornier.
Hold on.
Yeah.
But you do get there to a point where, as she's getting larger, like, there'll come a point, like Danny, like her last 2 or 3 weeks, where she's just uncomfortable and she just wants to have this baby. And she doesn't want you around there sniffing around the fucking buckle brush. So you, at that point, when she's at her most miserable and feels the less sexiness, because the baby's almost here. Now, a vasectomy is an outpatient surgery. It takes about 30 minutes. And all you can't do is for 2 or 3 days, you can't really fuck for 2 or 3 days. That's it. Well, I'm sure there's periods of 2 or 3 days that you go now that you guys don't fuck, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially
Right, so
when she's pregnant, for sure. I mean, you're right. They don't feel as sexy or whatever. But
Right. So, we sneak you over to my buddy. You get your vasectomy. You ice, and really, you just ice your balls down. You put a little bag of peas on your balls for a couple days, and you're good to go by the 3rd day.
Really?
And she'll never even know. There's no scar. They don't leave no scars. No, nothing.
Bubba's an expert in relationships, so just letting you know.
Yeah, no, I can tell. I can tell.
And you took that chance.
I'm the last motherfucker to talk about relationships. Right. But Danny, I'm just saying, then you could just come in her for the rest of your life and just blame it on, just
Maybe
blame
it's
it on
you,
her.
bitch.
Yeah, blame it on her.
blame it on her. You
Oh,
listen,
yeah,
Barren
make
ass
her feel
womb.
bad.
Well,
yeah.
after 2 kids.
Interesting.
Like, listen, my
And then when she comes home pregnant, man, there's a problem.
Clem's who's my buddy, the concrete.
Concrete high vis Willie, high vis Clem.
Yeah, high vis Clem. Did he? I think
He's all fired up because he just bought a new truck last week, so he thinks he's better than me because he has a really nicer car than I do.
Well, what do you got,
Willie.
buddy?
I just got a regular F-150 pickup truck, but he got the big platinum high vis Willie.
He did?
The I guess it's like the top of the line, massages your back and has a cooler in the center console, and
he's really letting you know about
now
it.
he's running around town
Cooler?
slinging it
Yeah,
with
but
his new platinum.
But here's the difference. He has to go out and lay 100,000 yards of concrete each week to be able to pay for that poor motherfucker. And you're in here air conditioning circumstances with 500,000 subs, fucking, making school lunches. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm just fucking.
I'll take that base level F-150. You're an indoor cat, right? You couldn't lay a yard of concrete if your life depended on it.
That's a fact. That is
Am I
a fact.
right?
You're definitely right. I could not.
Anna, you didn't like the.
Who wants to wake up at 5 a.m.?
Yeah.
Well, wake up at 5 a.m. I didn't wake up at 5.
That's late for
You've
Bubs.
always done that. I could
Wake
never.
up at 5, that'd be great.
Yeah, I wish. So this is Danny Jones, and now Danny, we know. So you make lunch for your kid, and then how many days a week do you record? Just one?
I record 1 or 2 days a week usually. I spend, I do that. I hang out with the wife and kid in the morning, and then sometimes I'll go to the gym or work out or swim or whatever, and then I'll answer emails, talk to people, do all that stuff. And
Now, do you do that almost every day? Like, do you try to set aside? I mean, because being, having this much, freedom and this, because your podcast does so well. I think you're at what, 5? I keep up 564,000 subscribers. That's pretty damn good.
no, it's like 465.
I'm sorry, 465,000. Now, do you watch your numbers too and try to I have a little charts and trying to get my numbers up? Do you keep track, or once you get that big a pimp, a few thousand here don't really fucking matter?
No, yeah, you definitely keep track of it. You definitely watch it. I didn't used to always watch it as much because I didn't, I always thought it was super fucking lame when people just only cared about how many views their videos got or how many subscribers they get, and they make hit the subscribe button, click the like button, blah 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 blah. I always thought that shit was kind of lame, but
you gotta do it.
You
don't
really
you?
kind of have to do it. You have to. More recently, I've started paying more attention to the analytics and figuring out what works, what doesn't. But there's a lot of people who just make the content based on what the people in the comment section want to see.
And his hashtag or hashtags. I mean, you got to play that game too, don't you? Do you have to play the hashtag? Or if you got good content, will it resonate and somehow make it through virally? Or do you got to play the hashtag game too?
I don't play the hashtag game. Definitely not in YouTube. I don't think there's any
Probably more
hashtag.
so on
doesn't-
Twitter.
it doesn't really work out
Instagram.
on YouTube.
Oh, it doesn't really work on YouTube?
It's all about just good content. It's all about just good, entertaining content.
And if a guy's good, he'll get the numbers because, people share him. If he sucks, I mean, the numbers don't lie, right? I mean, at the end of the day, that's how many people attempted to watch that or to watch that. And have you ever had a guest that, Matt Cox would probably be a pretty good example. In fact, a guy that you're like, fuck, this guy brought in good numbers. I'm going to go to the Matt Cox well a few times, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've had Matt Cox on the show probably 15 times.
How's Matt doing?
I think he's doing good. He's painting.
I'd like to maybe not extend an olive branch, but at least tell him what he did wrong, and then maybe have him back. Maybe me, you, with Concrete Clem, and like somebody else, like a podcast fucking super show or something.
Yeah. We could have an intervention with Clem, Cox, and myself. And maybe High Vis Willie could come join.
Intervention? That means you guys all have problems. I'm far more problematic than you guys are. Far more normal than me. I'm the fucked up one. Who's the most fucked up between me, you, Matt Cox, and Concrete Clem?
Probably Matt Cox.
Really?
Yeah. I think so.
Now, do you think Matt Cox wants to go back to being a swindler?
No, I don't think he does.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I know, but when you're that good at it and you have to work this hard to make money, because, I mean, at the end of the day, the money that Matt Cox is far more energy than he used to, right? He's just doing a podcast and painting right now.
Yeah, he does his podcast and painting, but the day I met him, or the first time I ever talked to him over email, he was emailing me from the halfway house. He was still in a halfway house going to, on work release, getting released for a certain amount of hours a day to go do like construction work or something. And he came to my podcast studio right from the fucking halfway house. Am I allowed to cuss?
Yeah,
on YouTube.
Of course. No,
from the halfway house.
But you can say fucking halfway house.
And now, ever since he did the first podcast, he's created more opportunities for himself out of that podcast than anybody that's ever been on the show.
I discovered him through your podcast. That's how I got him as a guest on my show, through your podcast.
A lot of people did. I mean, he's ever since then he's had people, from like business executives and Caribbean islands flying him out to talk to their companies for a crazy amount of money, and people flying him all over the country to do their podcasts. He's been on some of the biggest podcasts on YouTube. And he's like a national spokesperson for Title Lock, some sort of like title insurance company.
Hi, I'm Matt Cox, and I used to be able to steal your identity, but if you sign up with Title Lock here, not even a pro like me can get to it. Is that kind of how it goes?
Yeah, basically. They basically play him as the bad guy, and it's him and...
he doesn't give a fuck.
No, he doesn't give a fuck. He's killing it.
But could we do like a little podcast summit where we get like me, you, Cox, Concrete Willie? Who else are some of the local guys that have done well on your podcast world?
Some of the local guys who have done well on the podcast world.
That you could probably get. We could corral in and get them in.
You mean like local YouTube guys?
Well, no, just like local guests that you would have back.
And what about that chick you were talking about?
Yeah, isn't she from Chicago?
Local?
She's
Jessica
Chicago.
Kent. You're talking about? I think she lives in California.
Oh.
Matt told me that because she was on Matt's podcast, and Matt has like all those paintings on his wall in his podcast room, and he has a bunch of paintings of Donald Trump. And he said that when she went in there, she made him take the paintings down before they did the podcast.
Why?
Because she hates Donald Trump that much.
Oh, well, fuck her.
I thought that was kind of silly, but that girl, I don't know. I don't think
I don't think that bitch has a right to really hate anybody.
What did she do again?
Oh, she was
she's stealing money, or
what was her deal? By the way, Danny Jones, my guest, and Danny has a huge podcast that's based out of this area. And I did it about 2 weeks ago? 2
weeks ago, yep.
And I did his podcast, and I wouldn't say I fell in love with the guy, but I'm not gay for him. Maybe I would. I mean, if it was the only option, him and I were on an island, I might go gay for him.
Nice.
I mean, what else is there to do, right?
Right.
But he's really he's a great podcaster. He's very big in this space. I loved having him. I think I've developed a friendship, and he's going to help me with some guests, or he said at least going to try. And so we have him in the studio. So as he had me on his show, I'm having him on my show. That's kind of like how the podcasting world kind of works, doesn't it, Danny? Like,
yeah.
It's like the friend kind of deal where you're helping a friend out, right?
Exactly. That's exactly how it works.
And in the podcasting world, I'm like a little, fucking fledgling, jobber, and you're like the heavyweight champion. I'm like the Brooklyn Brawler, and you're like Hogan when he was with NWO. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get. I will tell you this: after I did your concrete podcast, we gained like 600 or 700 subscribers.
Oh, really?
On our YouTube channel, just like that.
That's great.
Just from your rub.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
You would do a great job in that format. It's for you. It's just changing the whole format. You're used to like this whole radio, this big giant fucking production you got going on
Wizard
here.
of Oz, big fucking deal. You can't see. Also, over the years, Danny, I've made it so you can't see me.
Yeah.
See, like
that's weird.
Yeah.
For me, at least.
I know. I love it. It's fucking weird, but it's so weird that it doesn't work in podcasting.
No, it doesn't work. I feel like super uncomfortable right now that I'm watching you delayed on a screen.
I know. I can always pop up and go, "Hey, Daddy, how are you, motherfucker?" But it's kind of an interesting Anna, would that be dichotomy?
An interesting dichotomy of you
being able to stand up and say hi, but yet I sit back down on a Wizard of Oz. Did I use that word correctly?
Yes, you could use it in that way. Yes.
Good, Bubba.
Yeah, you're hidden back there like the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, you never look him in the eyes.
But Danny's going to help. Danny's going to help me. Maybe turn, like Blitz and I talked about, turning that back area into like just a one-on-one kind of podcast deal. After I came to my senses.
Even if you just sat and did rants with just the camera on you, that would be fucking hilarious.
Really?
I think people would love that. Yeah, you got the charisma, you got the character, you got everything.
Now, did I do okay on your podcast? And please be honest.
Yes, you did. Read the comments. The comments are honestly always 90% just shitting on me or the guest or both of us or telling me how much of an idiot I am. You
finally got a guy that they hate more than you.
Yeah. They love you. They fucking love you. If you go read them, there's like maybe less than 1% that actually didn't enjoy it. They're all talking about how great it was and how awesome you are.
I was looking at your numbers. And so like I've been out now for 2 weeks. By the way, go to if you're on YouTube, just search Konkrete, Concrete, spelled with a K. And Danny's is the first one that comes up. Subscribe, like, join it all, get a notification. I think you release your new ones every Monday?
Yes, every Monday.
Every Monday.
Yep.
Do you already got one in the hopper for Monday, or you have to tape it yet?
Yeah, no, we have one for next Monday, yeah.
Well, what is it? Can you tell us?
Yeah, it's a guy, his name's Forgiato. Yeah, actually, you should get him on here. He'd be hilarious. His name's Forgiato Blow. He's a rapper. He calls himself a MAGA rapper. A Make America Great Again rapper, where all he talks about is Donald Trump and how much he loves Donald Trump. He has a Rolls Royce wrapped in Trump.
Now, could I offer you, Danny, like after you get with like, hey, if you'd ever want to do can I start being like your apprentice kind of deal, where like if you get a good guy like that would be good on my show, that you suggest him to me?
Yeah,
for real,
absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
Remember that was the guy that was going to do the big float party out in the Gulf, and they stopped him or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And he's big MAGA, and he's full-blown fucking off the chain with what's happened?
Oh yeah, he's got a giant tattoo of Trump on his thigh. And he's got a big lifted truck covered in Trump, and he's got a Rolls Royce covered in Trump, and he just like goes around doing that. Apparently it's a huge niche right now in hip hop where there's
Trump?
All they do is they rap about Trump, and like every topic that comes up that's like a hot button for Trump people or anti-Trump people, he makes a song about it.
Yeah, motherfucking gas prices going through the roof. Motherfucking Trump would have him down. Yeah, boy. Something like that.
Yeah, exactly like that. Yeah, if you look him up, he just basically has a...
Motherfucking immigration's going through the fucking... Yeah, boy. Trump would fucking send them all back. Yeah, boy.
He's wild. His grandfather's the guy who started Auto Trader.
Oh. Paxson? Was it Pat Paxson? I don't know.
I can't remember the name off the top of my head.
Anyway, he's loaded, is he not? I mean, is he loaded in life?
He claims he's not. He claims he hasn't gotten any money from his family.
Really?
But he said both of I think he said his mom or his dad were alcoholics. And
now, what about you? Nobody's ever interviewed you, Danny Jones.
Yeah, they have.
Well, let me then.
Okay.
You grew up here. Did you grow up here?
I did grow up here.
And went to what high school?
Seminole High School.
Seminole High School, which is over by Mako's. When I used to do Mako's Seminole Live.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was with the Power Pick.
Yep.
And when did you go? What year did you graduate high school?
Graduated high school in 2006.
All right. So you were in high school and I was in 98 Rock, kind of. Ish.
Yep.
That's when I was doing mornings on 98 Rock.
Exactly.
And then right out of high school, what does Danny Jones do?
Right out of high school, I'm working construction for a friend of mine's construction it's a giant commercial painting company. I think it's one of the biggest painting companies in Florida now.
Were you a painter?
I was a painter. I was riding in the back of a paint van with a bunch of Mexicans down to Sarasota or
Munions?
So you were like a commercial
painting.
painter kind of deal.
Yeah, Munion painting.
I went to school with them.
Did you?
Daniel and
Daniel
and David Moore's cousin.
Did you beat him up?
No, they're friends. I was friends with them.
Shout out to Daniel. He's awesome.
Yeah, Daniel's cool.
Were they rich as fuck?
Yeah, they're rich as fuck.
They live in Bel Air.
They're the most badass painting company in Florida.
Yeah. So you go work for Munion's painting, right?
Yep.
And you're like a guy, and you're not painting grandma's house. You're painting like full-blown office buildings and schools and stuff like that, probably, right?
Yeah, we painted those. We painted all like the giant condos on the beaches.
Spray,
Tampa.
or was it sometime hand painting?
Spray and the hand painting. I was like 17 years old driving these 80-foot. That's when I used to be an outdoor cat. I was like 17 years old driving around 80-foot boom lifts with my buddies, and we were just like driving around this construction site 80 feet in the air.
Were you
spraying. High? No, we weren't high.
It would have been so much cooler if you'd been high, though, don't you think?
That would have been way cooler.
Right.
And then we're spraying and just rolling and
now, are you making good money back then? Just a little Danny Jones, motherfucking commercial painter?
I guess, yeah. I guess for a
17-year-old
living at home still. Yep,
right.
Yep.
Now, in high school, were you like a computer guy, soccer guy, basketball guy, weightlifting guy?
No, in high school, I actually skipped probably most of my high school. I didn't really. I skipped probably at least 2 days a week, and I was just all I cared about in high school was surfing. All I would do is just find a place.
Where's there to surf in Florida?
Mostly on the East Coast, like Daytona Beach.
That's why you had to miss multiple days because you just can't
make a weekend trip.
Yeah.
No,
Wednesday.
we would take day trips over there pretty much whenever there was.
And there was just like hanging 10, right? Just over there, just fucking around, just doing enough school to get by, right?
Yeah, just barely getting by.
Were your parents like, God damn it, Danny, you fuck up, all you want to do is you're missing school, we're getting your report cards, what the fuck? Or were they just cools too? Were they cool?
No, they didn't like the fact that I was getting bad grades and fucking off and skipping school and getting in trouble and surfing all the time, and I was just a brainless idiot back then. I didn't know.
So you graduate high school, then what, Danny Jones?
Graduated high school, worked for the painting company. Then I started working for another local company around here. This is probably when I was 19. Probably working for this company called DuPont Registry with my buddy Steven, and we started.
I know, working for Chapman.
Yep.
Steve Chapman.
Yeah, I was working for Steve and his son. And we did a lot of I kind of headed up the whole video department at that place, making YouTube videos of crazy cars that would come through. And then from there, our buddy Frank hooked me up with a producer in Miami, and I got a job working on that Dolphin Tail movie.
Oh,
that
really?
was filmed in Clearwater, yeah. So I filmed that Dolphin Tail movie.
Now, was that kind of your very first, dabbling in? Because I know that you've made some documentaries. I think Deckhand is one of the ones that is on your concrete deal. Deckhands.
Yep.
But was the Dolphin Tail? Was that your first splash in that world?
That was like my film school. Yeah, because I couldn't get into film school. I tried to get into film school and I got denied, even though I got a letter of recommendation from one of the most successful alumni of the UCF Film School, which is one of the top film schools in the country. The guy who wrote me a recommendation is the guy who actually made the Blair Witch Project, which is one of the most profitable films of all time.
They knew you were such a fuck up that even guy couldn't even get you in.
No, he couldn't even get me in.
Man.
They said, you're fucked, buddy.
You're fucked, buddy.
You're
stick
fucked,
with
pal.
Winter, okay, buddy?
Yep, stick with exactly.
Stick with Winter. What's best it gets for you, kid.
Yep, I went with Winter.
So then what happened? So obviously you're probably great friends. We talked about it earlier with Frank Chevis because he was had a lot to do with that marina as well, I think. Does he not?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he still does.
I think he's on the board or something like that.
Yeah, he is.
He's
exactly.
he's basically the pimp of all Pinellas County.
He really is.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a perfect way to put it.
The pimp of Pinellas County.
If I ever have him on the podcast, that's going to be the title of the video.
You need to have him because that's he has some interesting stories. He'll tell you stories. Listen to this story he told me one time. The island that I used to live in Tierra Verde, Bayway Isles. I used to live on that island. And that was back in the 60s and 70s. I think Blitz, you'll verify, was like a bird sanctuary.
Yeah, Bayway Isles 2.
Yeah, Bayway Isles 2. And there was no houses out there. And it was a big bird sanctuary. Well, that's where all the Miami cocaine runners and weed runners would. That particular little island is where they would dump off all their stuff. And then the guys in the boats would come and just pull right up there and get it. But Bayway 2 Blitz originally started out as where they dumped all the cocaine and weed back in the 80s.
I can see that.
And Frank knew of some of those boys back in the day running that kind of deal. All right, so you do the Winter's Tale, flim-flamming around, wanting to be a filmmaker, can't get into film school. Then what?
Yep. And then actually, I think before that I started getting recruited to go film on TV projects. Like I remember early on I had to tell Munyon that I couldn't come to work for like a week because I got invited to actually film an ESPN bill fishing tournament in Puerto Rico. So it was like where they would catch blue marlin on these big multi-million-dollar yachts, and I was just like this little kid with this underwater housing because I used my little underwater housing to film surfing all the time,
right?
With a couple of local guys who grew up in Indian Rocks Beach. And so I had this underwater housing, so I was known for like being really good at like swimming with a video camera and getting cool like underwater
You were
stuff.
Johnny Underwater Shot Guy.
I was Johnny
Underwater
Johnny,
Shot Guy.
Exactly, Johnny Underwater Shot Guy.
If you need an underwater shot, there's this little son of a bitch over in Seminole that can do it.
Exactly, that's
now,
exactly.
If you can get him off his fucking paint job, he might be able to come help you.
Basically, you nailed it.
But he's making about $12 a day over there, so anything over 25, and he's fucking straight. He just can't huff paint that day, right?
Exactly, you nailed it.
All right, so you get to Johnny Underwater Shot Guy.
Yep, and then I would go to Puerto Rico and film that stuff, and like they'd catch these giant blue marlin, and I'd jump off the side of the boat when they were pulling the marlin up, and the sharks would eat them, and it was crazy.
And you're this skinny little surfer kid.
Yeah, I was just like Spicoli looking kid.
No disrespect to your wife. I don't know how long you've been with her, but were you just getting all the ass back then? Because Underwater Shot Guy probably is getting all the ass.
Oh no, definitely not.
Okay, sorry.
Underwater Shot Guy doesn't get the ass.
Okay, yeah, he does.
He watches him get the ass.
Yeah, he films it underwater.
He gets the shot of the guy getting the ass underwater.
Yeah, no, the old dudes that own the yachts are the ones that get all the ass.
Right, the yacht owners, the oligarchs.
But when grandpas go to bed, man, those little pay-per-view whores, they like Johnny Underwater Shot Guy, little cutie. You know what I'm saying? All right, so we'll move along. I can see that makes you uncomfortable. So Johnny Underwater Shot Guy, probably getting all the hot ass, but we're not talking about it. And then what happens?
Same stuff. I started getting more jobs like shooting on TV shows. That was like in the rise of the reality TV days with like Pawn Stars and all of that crap. And eventually I got transitioned out of that and started like actually producing my own TV pilots for various shows and pitching those to all the networks and running through that whole circus. Yeah. Yeah,
and that's a fucking circus, is it not?
Oh, it's such a fucking circus.
I'm going through that whole
show.
documentary circus right now, and it's like I know a guy who knows a guy who's the fucking head of Netflix. It says, it's kind of good, but fuck, you know, it's like whatever.
Yeah, and I probably was a part of I probably headed up 3 big productions that were show concepts that we developed pilots for and shopped around basically all the networks. I ended up getting one show greenlit by Spike. And then it was killed at the Greenlight meeting by the CEO of Viacom. And at that point, I was just kind of over the whole circus, the whole show. And I was just like, fuck this. I'm going to start taking everything that I think is cool. I'm just going to re-edit it and publish it on YouTube and see what happens.
Right.
And that's how the whole YouTube thing eventually took off.
Just from you basically saying, fuck it, I can't deal with this corporate, green light. Oh, we're going to do it. But, listen to this. I had a project one time knowing how disappointing this is. I went in 2010 up to the Tribune Company at that time that owned Channel 9, WGN America, Chicago. It was WGN Chicago, and it was a subsidiary of one of these huge syndicates. It syndicated the Jerry Springer Show, and the company needed a new show because Tara Banks was leaving. And they needed a new 3 p.m. show. Now, the way this on the WB network, and the way this works is a lot of these shows will just go with a network, and they just rent the time, broker the time. Well, 3 p.m. nationwide, Monday through Friday, costs $6 million. And so the syndicated company was going to do the Bubba Clem show, and it was like Springer on steroids. So I went up to Chicago, and I shot 5 pilots. One was like these guys that were dressed up as women, kind of way ahead of the trans game. And then one was these strippers that lived in a small town, and the strip joint that they worked at used to be a schoolhouse, and this real smart businessman turned the schoolhouse into a strip joint. And the townspeople were mad that their schoolhouse is now where all these whores are hanging out with, and the whores were there, and the townspeople were there. It was a big fucking shitstorm. And they test piloted the Bubba Clem show, and it went through the roof, and so they greenlit it for syndication. So they send me $50,000 cash as a signing bonus, and then I'm, it's all contingent upon the head of the syndication flying to L.A., and getting with WB and giving them the $6 million check for that year's worth of, that slot, 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern on, the WB network. And it's done. The show's greenlit by Tribune. The president signs off on it. Sean Compton flies to L.A. He's got the $6 million check to give to WB. The Bubba Clem show is going to start in September. Well, the president of Tribune got caught up into some bullshit and resigned out of nowhere. And Sean Compton was at the desk of the WB network, ready to hand over this check. And some secretary stepped in and said, you need to take this phone call to the guy at the WB network, and said, the president of the Tribune company just stepped down. They don't know who the new president is going to be, and we cannot. This show is going to have a certain amount of backflack. This show is going to be controversial. So we need the president of the Tribune to be behind this program. And they squashed it at the signing table. I got squashed, Danny, at the fucking signing table. That's how far I made it.
Yeah, that's just goes to show you that's why that whole industry is just.
And that's
going
probably
out.
what happened to you too. It was greenlit. We're going to do it, right? Did you have a budget, the whole fucking 9 yards? And then what? In the 11th hour, right before you started, they tell you no.
Yeah, exactly. That at the very end, and then the fucking shadiness of just the industry and the people at those production companies, especially those television production companies. It's just such a fucking weird business
and they
model.
don't, and a lot of times they don't even really know what the fuck they're talking about. But they think they do because they're in a high-ranking job somehow, way, shape, or form, and they think that they fucking know what they're talking about, but they don't. They don't really know what America wants. They don't really know how the average person consumes. They're just either in cover-their-ass mode or everything's no mode.
Right.
Unless you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that fucked Ray J's sister that knows somebody.
Right. And it's about just like gobbling up the rights to every interesting thing they can possibly find and keeping it on a shelf until there's an opportunity to maybe sell it to a network.
Right. It's all big broker game.
It is,
isn't it?
It is. It's a big fucking. They're swindlers.
And I'm playing that game right now with this documentary that I'm doing. I'm playing that game, and it's just like and that I showed you that little sizzle that I had.
Yes.
And we've been sending that around a little bit.
Amazing.
And we're getting like not female enough. I want my wife to be able to watch it. Well, I'm like, motherfucker, you can't have the best of both worlds. You can't have. I think either you're targeting men or you're targeting women, right? In the documentary world, so to speak.
That's
a slippery slope.
It is a slippery slope, but it's a weird thing when you're just basically trying to re-edit something you're making just to fit a certain demographic.
Right.
Like you're fucking thinking about it backwards.
Right. They're trying to reverse engineer your shit.
Which is the problem with the whole thing, and which is why I don't fuck around with it anymore.
But I got to think now, by the way, Danny Jones from the Concrete Podcast, just anywhere you get your podcasting, or better yet, go to his YouTube channel. It's Concrete spelled with a K. Anna's a huge fan.
I am.
And we're going to get into the podcast itself, but I wanted to establish, a little bit of Danny Jones prior to how did Danny Jones get to where he is today. So then after that, you had something I think you said on Spike that was greenlit, and then it got last minute canceled. So you're like, fuck it. I'm just going to start doing some of this shit. I'm underwater shot guy. I'm a surfer. I'm a painter, whatever. So at that point, you then, I think, was Deckhands your very first thing that you did?
Deckhands was the second thing. The first thing I did was like a local real estate thing with this local real estate dude, following him around, doing like comedy, slash like real true business type stuff where this guy's just walking around town trying to buy and sell hotels. That took off big time.
That did, but was it because of you, or was it was it him and you, or was it more him centric?
It was both.
Okay,
for sure.
All right,
definitely both.
So then after that you said, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and try to spin this off on my own deal.
No, well, in the middle of that, I was still doing other stuff. Like I was still, I started the podcast probably like towards the halfway through that whole thing.
And what years are we talking here? Like when you first started with Ben, what was your very first year where you're going to say, we're going to have a YouTube channel and I'm going to follow you around, buying and selling cars.
It was after we quit we quit on the whole TV network deal, which was probably 2015.
Okay.
And then that, that peaked, that whole thing kind of like took off and peaked on the internet around 2017, 2018. And in the middle of that is when I did Deckhands. And Deckhands was like, I was doing a lot of things at the same time, a lot of different projects at the same time. And Deckhands was just like, I grew up right 5 minutes away from Madeira Beach, Florida. And we would drive by this local fish house almost every day.
And people don't even realize that the lifestyle of a real commercial fisherman, like that's a whole fucked up carny deal in itself, is it not?
Yeah,
that's what the Deckhand's about, right? For the most part.
It was just the Hollywood Kim one.
Yeah, that's one of them.
One of the four.
Hollywood Kim is the fourth one, and basically all it is it's 4 different character studies, if you will, of these fucked up human beings that live on Madeira Beach
that are drunks.
They're drunks,
fishermen.
they're alcoholics.
My dad opened up 2 bars right by each fishing, the Fish Busters and that Avon, but it used to be some Mad Beach Fish or something like that.
Yeah, Mad Beach Fish House.
Your dad used to own that, Lemmy?
He owned the 2 bars. I grew up in Madeira Beach, and all the boats would come in like Monday, unload, get paid, go to the bar, and then they'd be there for 3-4 straight days, be out of money, and go right back on the boat.
Yep, that's exactly
how my dad made a ton of money on them.
That's exactly how probably 85% of the fish that you eat in Pinellas County is harvested, right?
Well, probably 85%. Definitely a majority of the grouper in the country or the world, because I know Madeira Beach is like the grouper capital of the world. There's more grouper caught there than anywhere else in the world.
And Danny, have you found out, like, if these guys, they actually make pretty good money.
They make thousands of dollars, but they make probably like $5-10 grand per trip.
And if they weren't so fucking degenerate and had so many vices and they just went home to normal America, they would fucking be killing it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because they make pretty damn good money.
They make really good fucking money.
And it's a fucking really hazardous, scary, hard-working job, right? They're out at sea for what, 4 days, 3 days?
They're usually out there for longer than that.
It's usually like 2 weeks. Because my dad bought a couple boats, and he would hire the staff, and they would always be flipping over, because you go stay underneath the boat in these bunk beds, and it's absolutely miserable.
Now,
because you go out to the middle grounds.
And you're subjected to weather, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not always just calm out there, right? I mean, it's treacherous sometimes.
Yeah, it's rough out there. They're definitely out there for 2 weeks, and the problem is when they go out there for 2 weeks, they are going to run out of drugs, so they do what's called CHAB. So they rehab out at sea, and by the time before they get back, all they're doing
that's how they clean themselves up. They CHAB.
Yeah. There was one guy who his wife, his kid, his whole entire family were all heroin junkies. They were shooting up heroin every single day.
And they're like,
the captain wouldn't put up with it when they go on the boat, when they go out fishing. So they go out fishing and they fucking detox for 2 weeks straight, and then they come back, and that's the first thing they're doing with their money.
It's a never-ending cycle either,
Yeah.
and the captains have so much problems with finding good deckhands.
Like, you just can't find a couple clean-cut kids, they want to go out there for 2 weeks and fish and not be complete degenerate fuck-ups on, when they get back, right? You can only probably attract degenerate fuck-ups to begin with.
Yeah, well, you got to think about, Bubba, you're going 2 weeks out, and all you're looking at is the water around you, and you're living in these horrible,
now,
horrible conditions.
Have they ever send chicks out there to fuck? Like, or are there girls? I mean, like, Danny, how does that go? That world?
No, there's a few female captains and a few female deckhands, but
are they getting hammered? I mean,
they're rugged. They're rugged.
They don't fuck around.
They don't fuck around. If anything, they fuck the dudes.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, like Hollywood Kim. She was a crazy bitch.
I saw the first episode. And which one's Kim on? The fourth?
Kim's on the last one. The first one is Shane Lee, he's just a guy we walked up to.
He's Johnny Motherfucker, right? Remember, I'm motherfucking this and I'm motherfucking that.
He's a crazy motherfucker. We met him at a 7-Eleven on Madeira Beach, and that's where it all started. We just didn't know. We just saw this guy wearing fairy wings, and he had a fucking giant 666 tattoo on his back. And he took us to his boat with all these laser lights and a giant stereo system, a fog machine, blasting Rob Zombie.
I remember it. I remember that part, right? And then he started like walked you through the whole life of a commercial fisherman, right?
Yeah, he walked us through. I mean, he was just a wild character.
Now, they're tough, though, too, right? Like, they're grizzled. They're rugged. Like, you wouldn't want to fuck with one of these guys, right? I mean, they're out at sea surviving. Yeah. Like, you know, us indoor cats with AC and our fucking cable, right? I mean, our internet, these guys are rugged.
Yeah, no, they're fucking worn and torn. And every single one of them probably has skin cancer. Their skin is just like this leather, this old leather falling off their bones. One guy, there was one guy, Space. He was telling us a story about how he got a 9-aught hook through his dick when they were long lining.
Really?
Offshore. Yeah. And
you're like, man, stop the line, my dick's on it.
Yeah. He said they had to like rush him to shore because he thought he was going to lose his dick.
Oh my
but that's how fucked up it is.
Christ.
It's brutal out there.
Do they ever come in for emergencies like that? You know, like, but that probably fucks up the deal then, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it fucks up everything.
You know, they probably strategically and monetarily, money wise, as far as fuel and things like that, have it all. You know, food and fuel and supplies, right down to they got it dialed into what they need, probably.
Yeah, everything has to go perfect for them to make money and for them to be profitable. But a lot of times there's so many boats out there, what they can do is they can radio another boat that's like going home in the next 24 hours, and they'll like meet up with them and then, have one guy jump ship and go home with the boat that's already on its way home.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But so they're even the people that are fishing against them kind of have to end up being their buddies, so to speak.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, because they're all out there probably in general proximity of each other, right?
Yes, they are for sure. I don't think it's like that much of a rivalry. I don't think they're really competing like that.
No,
it's more of a survival deal, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Than it is a rivalry.
Well, plus you got quotas too, so each boat only has a certain amount, so they're going to hook it up because once they get back, they're all going to party anyhow.
Well, plus they probably know whether they caught enough to make money, right? They probably know. Like Danny Price, some of the captains probably are tutting back in knowing I just lost my ass, with if you cut fuel and there's probably not every one of their hauls are good hauls, right?
Right. No, definitely not. But, the biggest thing they have to contend with is all the federal regulations. That's the thing that the most people were complaining about that we learned about during that documentary, which is super confusing. The whole IFQ system, which is the quota.
Yeah, the quota it ruined domestic fish.
So you don't know, well, because it's been overfished, right?
Yeah, like environmentalists will lobby with the federal government, and what they did was, I forget the year, but they basically enacted this quota system where certain people that have been fishing, certain captains who have been fishing for a certain amount of time, got allotted a certain amount of pounds per year. And basically what that is like, it's the government's that's the best retirement plan known to man. So if you're a guy who's been fishing since the 80s and they take for 10 years, they say they average all the fish that you caught over that 10-year period, and they say it's 10,000 pounds per year. Well, the government's going to allot you 10,000 pounds of quota per year. And now the way that rule works is you don't have to physically go out in a boat and catch 10,000 pounds with you and your crew. You can lease that quota out to other boats and charge a tax on top of that.
That's what Save on Gibby does.
Right.
Wow. He's been doing it for so long that he just started buying quotas.
Is that what
it's like stock.
Yeah, so it's like a liquor license where they only issue so many of those, right?
Right.
And you only get so many fishing quotas, licenses, whatever, and so they become valuable if you want to fit, and so they sell them.
Right. So
a guy may not
no,
even
they don't sell them normally. They lease them.
They
lease them. Right. They hold on to them. There's guys on fucking Wall Street who own tons of this quota. They bought it in the beginning, and they just lease it out to these people that are living down here. And that is one of the arguments to why this whole industry is fucked down here. It's not like that in the Northeast, like up in Connecticut area and Maryland.
Leave it to us to fucking shady it up.
Yeah.
Right? Where a guy can't even really go out and own his own boat without having a fucking fishing license lease deal from some fucking pencil neck motherfucker who works at Raymond James in New York, right?
Right, yeah. The argument against it is a lot of the people up north will say that it's better for the environment, it's better for the economy, and it's better for the workers and the fishermen themselves when the guy on the boat, the owner of the IFQ, has to be the one catching the fish, driving the boat. It can't just be a guy, sitting in a fucking high rise on Wall Street.
Which that's what it ends up being, though.
That's a lot of the times that's what it ends up being. But then there's also a lot of guys like Frank who own a ton of IFQ, and they have he runs a huge business, and he has a lot of captains working for him, and he runs a lot of restaurants.
Frank
can't be on these boats by himself. I mean,
Frank's
he's got to have
probably
other
the way
guys doing
that
it.
it was designed to work the right way, the way Frank does it.
Right, yeah. Frank definitely, I mean, look at a guy like Frank and how long he's been doing it, and, he's lived in this town his whole life. He takes care of everybody. He's the pimp of Pinellas County.
He is. He's basically, if there was a mayor of the entire county, he would be it. He would be it.
Yeah, and he takes care of his people, and he's got a whole fleet of boats that he has, and
salt shaker, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So Anna, I know that you've become a fan you follow the Concrete podcast series.
Yeah.
I wanted to get you involved with Danny on some of the guests that he's had and his take on some of these guests, and maybe which ones we should pick off, maybe. Or try to pick off.
Well, I don't know if my interests align with, everybody, in this room or people that are listening, but I'm a big fan of like secret society stuff. Like I love secrets. So I like all the CIA stuff that you do. I've seen, I know you had Andrew Bustamante, right? And his wife, Jihi.
Yeah.
Who was a little bit, less compelling than Andrew. But I've seen Andrew on a few different forums, but I really liked him seeing him on yours, followed by another CIA or ex-CIA operative who kind of had a completely different take.
Yeah,
on
the guy I released
John Kiriakou.
Kiriakou, yeah.
Kiriakou, yeah. So I was listening to Kiriakou yesterday, and basically similar positions. Both, I think, were in espionage, were spies, right?
Yeah.
And one of them, Andrew, seems to be more on the side of it's for your own good and willing to forgo a lot of civil liberties, whereas John thought the exact opposite.
Right.
So I thought that was interesting. But if I wasn't working in radio, I feel like I would try to get into the CIA or something. I find myself obsessed with it.
Yeah,
I like secret society stuff.
It's very interesting. It's very interesting.
I like intelligence stuff.
The main difference between John Kiriakou and Andrew Bustamante is Andrew Bustamante is a retired CIA officer who is still on good terms with the CIA.
He didn't go to prison.
Everything he does is cleared in a chain of command. Still to this day. Like he still can't talk about things. If he wants to go and do something, he has to get it cleared by the CIA.
Right.
John Kiriakou got sent to prison, and the CIA dismantled his entire life. So he has a completely polar opposite opinion of
view of
everything in the government,
trying
the
to do the right thing and getting fucked for it.
Yeah.
Well, one guy's doing it the right way, and one guy got fucked on the deal. Right.
Right.
Now, which one's this guy right here?
That's the one I watched yesterday.
That's the one you watched yesterday,
That's
right?
Kiriakou, yeah. So I released him in a 3-part series.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's that fucking special. I only got a 2-parter.
Well, I just actually started doing the 3-part thing. This is the first time I've ever done it.
I mean, he helped catch like the number 3 guy in Al Qaeda,
Yeah.
Now, is this the guy here?
And then they sent him to prison.
This is the guy they've made an example out of. This is the latest one that you released on Monday, right?
Yes, correct.
That's Kiriakou?
Kiriakou, yeah, Kiriakou.
This is Kiriakou?
He's kimchi.
Now, is he local?
No, he lives in the D.C. area.
Really?
You know what's crazy about him? He's got a contract. He's a radio guy for Russia's main national radio station.
What?
Yeah, it's called Sputnik.
Right?
Yes, so he has a contract with Sputnik, which is their national radio platform, where he has a daily radio show that he broadcasts to the Russians, which is fucking wild.
Now, but as an American?
Yeah, as an American. They don't. He said that they don't censor him one bit.
Like, could he say, hey, this is John Sputnik?
Well, they probably don't want you to be shitting on the U.S. government.
Right. Well, he doesn't only shit on the U.S. government. He said he also shits on the Russian.
Putin?
He shits on Putin a lot. And
is he allowed to say, man, that fucking Putin is insane?
Yeah, he says he does it, and he says they never censor him. He says he's been censored he's been banned on on YouTube. He's been banned on Spotify. Been banned on Apple. All the main streaming platforms in the USA. He's been banned on.
For what? For just being anti-CIA or just
for being anti-CIA.
Well, he was a whistleblower.
Yeah, and being anti-CIA and talking and doing his Russian show.
Now, does it scare you when you have a guy that's been canceled that much as a guest?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why. So I uploaded him originally as one long 3-hour podcast,
right?
And YouTube demonetized it.
And it was all just based on nothing other than his opinion. right?
I don't know if it was. I mean, it's hard to really tell. You know, there's two camps. There's people that think that the CIA runs YouTube, but there's probably really only like just like this. There's like this algorithm that scrapes every video, and if in the first minute one word is said, it triggers something that demonetizes it.
Now, how many tricks of the monetization game have you learned? You know, like we're obviously babies in this whole YouTube world compared to you, but like is that a trick that you just taught me in the fact that if you keep it extra clean for the first minute, that you might have a better chance? Like,
yeah, I don't.
What are some of the tricks?
That's definitely one of them. Some of the tricks are you don't want to be too outlandish with your titles or your thumbnails because it'll get you demonetized.
Right.
Obviously, don't do like don't break any of the main rules like doxing people or anything like that.
Right.
But
I mean, even content that is just a person's opinion or perhaps a person's real life experience, not showing gore, not messing with anybody's copyright or just a person's real life story and opinion can get you demonetized.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I have tons of. I have probably a third of my library is demonetized.
And they really don't give you any rhyme to reason, do they?
No,
I mean,
don't.
You don't really know particularly. They don't break it down and say, well, it was this guy's, a stance on this and that.
They just say you violated some sort of codes and conditions or
Yeah, well,
terms and conditions.
It's so vague. It's so vague, the rules that they use to demonetize your content. It doesn't. Let me be clear. It's not like fully demonetizing it. It's called limited.
Yeah, we have
limited ads.
Limited.
But you'll basically make no money, and it throttles it because I think YouTube really only pushes the content that's fully monetized because they want to make money too.
Yeah, family-friendly stuff.
Yeah. And Blitz, isn't it a big algorithm game too as to whether you get as a recommended video?
Oh,
or
yeah.
Like Danny, how does that? Do you know how that world works? Because I had one video on Facebook that went viral for real, and it was just some band from 2017 that I had in the green room that I kicked out because they were late. I'm like, get the hell out of here, and it went fucking viral on Facebook where I was doing like 5 million views every month. This video is making really like $5,000 or $6,000 for a couple months. And if you looked at where all the views came from
on Facebook,
yes. And if you look at where all the views came from, it was England, and it was based on, and it wasn't from my followers. Usually my videos are like 95% followers, 5% recommendations, right? Something like that.
Yeah,
This was completely flipped. It was recommended as a watch, deal from Facebook.
So it was watched on YouTube when the traffic
No,
was coming from Facebook?
It had nothing to do with YouTube.
Had nothing to do with YouTube.
Okay, I don't know anything about it. I'm never on Facebook. Facebook's fucking weird when it comes to the video stuff because I know that they don't like, even if it's like you just scroll past it, I believe they count that as a view. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't watch any videos on Facebook, nor do I even ever use Facebook. So I'm not.
Yeah, Facebook.
You're too young for Facebook.
It's kind of an odd world.
You're under 40, so nobody wants. You're not. You don't even know. You probably don't know how. You probably never even heard of Facebook.
No, I've heard of Facebook. It's just the whole video thing with Facebook that's where you lose. That's where it loses me.
Yeah. Now, so do you have, when you're at the level of subscribers you are, do you have like a rep or somebody that you can talk to
at YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like for real, you can call your rep up and be like,
"Hey, we have a Twitch one."
Yeah, I have a lady who I talk to. They give us. They rotate them out probably once a year, but I always have somebody that I can call and talk to about anything on YouTube. Like we usually talk once a month about things.
What are the numbers you have to hit in order to get a rep?
I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any like specific number you have to hit. I think it's just they reach out to you once they decide that you're worthy of
you're reputable,
working with them. That you're reputable. Yeah.
Blitz, are we reputable yet? Or you know what? I take that
we're
back.
About halfway there.
We're never reputable. I don't think.
It's usually about 100,000.
Is that where it is?
Yeah.
Now, Danny, do you get have they given you special awards like these little plaques and shit when you hit
play
these
buttons?
Yeah, they gave me one of those.
They did?
Yeah, they gave me one for hitting 100,000.
That's
now
awesome.
what's your next plateau? 500?
I think at $1 million you get another one.
Yeah.
What do you think? Like,
the gold play button.
Do you ever like try to strategize and say, okay, I tend to gain this many subscribers each month. It'll take this long to get to $1 million. Do you ever do that?
No.
See, I'm way more analytical and nervous than
Yeah.
you are. You know.
You don't change, you don't
admire-
change your content based on views. You just do what you do, and
That's
it
good,
gets
though.
what it gets, right?
Yeah. I just do what I think's
Yep.
cool or what I think's going to be good. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what's always worked for me in
That's
the
the
past.
brand, yeah.
You know, there's a lot
But
of
that's what we do. We just do it. We like not a lot of people probably think my chicken sandwich deal, but I like doing it, so fuck it.
Right. Yeah. If you like doing it, then fucking do it. That's how it's worked the best for me in the past. I understand that a lot of people like to be super analytical and do what works best, and kind of
Right.
like people fall into like what works. They,
Kind of
you know,
going back to your surfing roots, kind of back to your underwater shot guy. I don't give a fuck. I'll just do what I want.
Yeah, kind
Right?
of. Yeah, kind. I mean, it's. I was just talking about this to a guy the other day about. We were talking about Skip Bayless. He's a sports commentator guy,
Yeah.
and he plays this like weird character on his show where he's just like he shits on LeBron James and glorifies Tom Brady and Michael Jordan over everything, no matter what the argument is, no matter what happens in the news. He finds a way to take one side based on who his favorite athletes are and who the athletes that he hates are. And he's like morphed himself into this person in real life because it's what worked or what played well for him on radio or in the media
Kind of like
or in a show.
like the Ned character, like when we used to have Manson play Ned. Is that what Skip Bayless plays a character?
Yeah, well, it's like certain stances that he takes on certain topics, they work really well or they've helped him in his career.
Right.
So he's leaned into that so much that he's lost who he really used to be, and he's become just this fucking clown who plays a character because
that's the problem with a lot of YouTube channels. They start to get big, and then they start to play into what they think is going to make them bigger, and they get away from who they really are, and a lot of times it backfires.
Yeah, they get lost in what works or what makes them money or what builds their career, builds their fame, and that's who they become. And eventually, a certain point down the road, you look in the mirror and you're not the same person anymore. You become something completely different.
Described my entire life.
I know, I was like,
I think this is I think you guys brought Danny Jones in for a motherfucking intervention around
yeah,
here.
you became who you thought other people wanted you to be.
Right.
I'm Bubba the Love Sponge, bitch, but I'm really not. I'm just Todd Clem.
I want to ask him a question about like.
You ask me as questions you want.
Okay, about like guest harvesting. So like all these people that you have on, a lot of them are underground famous or people I've never heard of or. How do you get the guests? Do you find these people, seek them out? Do you have a team of people working? Do they reach out to you? Is it a combination of everything?
Whoa! Fuck!
Oh, I thought you thought it was a really good question.
Yeah.
We're in that fight.
I took a big careful.
I'm like, thanks, Bubba. Really put me over.
Wow, great job, Anna. Great question.
Bubba died. That fucking almost took me out. Man.
Yeah, you got to be careful with the fresh batch. You got to keep it at least like a
Bubba.
foot away from your
I
nose.
fucking put it right up to my gorilla goddamn nose.
This is what happens every time Bubba finds something new. He goes like way all in too quickly.
Fuck, I'm way in this fucking.
Microdoses every fucking day.
Oh my god. Anyway, on a great question.
Thank you.
And I was talking to Danny, and he does it all himself for real.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So like, you must hear of them, first or
no. So a lot of people do reach out to us every single day. We get tons of emails every single day. People.
I mean, I gotta think because you guys got some big numbers,
and
there's a lot of people that are coming to you. Right?
Yeah, there's a ton of people that come to us every single day, and I do have somebody who sorts through all of the stuff and like sends me like the stuff that they think will be good. But when it comes to reaching out to people, I'm the one who does it. I do it all by myself. Like usually if I'm like watching a documentary or I see something that I think's interesting, I'll find somebody in that documentary or like the person who made it, and I'll reach out to them on my own and set it up by myself. But as far as like the incoming requests, that stuff gets filtered.
See, Anna, what Danny just said is this. If you would be a little more aggressive on the franchise that you work for, I'm kind of recognized as a big slinging dick, and that we could get a whole bunch more people if you just tried a little harder. No, for real.
Yeah, I understand that. I was just wondering how how these people come on his radar. Like if they come on your radar or they reach out to you, or maybe listeners go, who you should have on is this guy because he's really interesting.
That's happened a couple times. Like on Twitter or in the comments, I'll see somebody like whenever I see anybody suggest something online, I always look up who the person is.
Right.
And there's been a handful of times, 2 or 3 times that I've actually gotten that person on the show, and it's been great.
Okay.
No, but Danny, you think if Anna used like, okay, I'm a co-host and a segment producer on the Bubba the Love Sponge show, and we had our little footer, all of our little stats and stuff. And then just on probably the notoriety and the brand, don't you think we should be able to get about anybody? Don't you think?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, Anna, if you just start
send them a little PDF with with Bubba Clem on the front, and
yeah,
I know.
I
but
might fire Anna and hire Danny. Oh, I'm so sorry, Anna. Just kidding.
Thanks. No, but I'm just, I want to also keep it on brand with what we do. I don't know if it'd be like a complete overlap if we could, book all the same guests if our audience would be interested in all the same guests. So I try to just keep that in mind as well.
Yeah, but I mean, I think pop culturally, you could have a certain amount of pop culture guests that would help the terrestrial show. Perhaps.
Oh, hell yeah.
But then, Kid Rock and the guy, all the people that are coming to town and things like that. But then, when we were to do a podcast, go into some various, like, for instance, I wanted to get the prison girl on. I had a lot of questions. I thought you left some meat on the bone, Danny, on that. I was writing down some notes.
Yeah, me and her weren't vibing too well during that interview. It was
Did you have a picture of Trump behind you or something?
Can I tell you the meat I thought as a professional broadcaster, and, of course, your new best friend, can I give you the meat that you left on the bone?
Absolutely.
On that interview?
Yes, please.
One, who is the original baby daddy? On the original, when she first, she had a kid in prison, I don't think you asked who the baby daddy was on that deal.
Right.
I think that might have opened up some, that kind of deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. That could have opened up a whole new can of worms.
Two, was the girls all after her in prison? Like, you didn't, like how many male guards, because she's very attractive. I mean, she's attractive. Was she the hot commodity in prison, so to speak? A couple things, meat on the bones.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure you could do a much better job if you had her in here for sure.
Motherfucker, with that. We're not
doing
interview.
that. This is what you do. This is who you are. Of course,
but don't reverse it on me like I'm trying. I was just saying, like, if I would have had her on, I was like, ask about the baby daddy, and then did she ever think about getting an abortion? Is that a little too much?
No, that's not too much.
I'll be like, hey, Jessica, you're pregnant, and you're.
What was she go to prison for again?
I forget.
Was it a violent crime?
I don't even remember. I think it was like robbery, like robbing a gas station. And she was like,
she was
all hopped up on meth, and she was with somebody who robbed a gas station or something.
Oh, okay.
Right, and she knew that she shouldn't do it because there's a cop. Before she walked into the gas station, she saw the cops across the street, but she still decided to go in there knowing that they're going to get pulled over the minute they pulled out. Because you're in fucking Arkansas.
I think she was always in trouble throughout her entire life, too. Right. She said she was always like fighting in high school.
She kind of blew up after your pod. You've blown up some people. Your podcast has blown up. You blew up Matt Cox.
Yeah.
I think you blew up her, right?
No, she was really big before she came on my show.
Oh, she was?
She's got like 1 million subscribers on YouTube or something crazy.
Who's been your biggest guest so far? Her?
My biggest guest?
Well, like as far as that had the...
As far as views?
Yeah.
Probably this guy, Sean Atwood, this guy who's in the UK. He was one of the biggest like ecstasy. He ran a huge ecstasy ring in Arizona, and he was competing with Sammy the Bull, and he actually got exiled from the U.S. So he's no longer allowed in the U.S.
Did you have to have him on the phone or Zoom or was he?
Yeah, he was on Zoom. Yeah.
Do you prefer in studio over Zoom?
Oh yeah, 100%. Zoom, in the studio, in person is always 1,000,000 times better. It's just like that, you know about it. I mean, there's that magic that you get there.
Right.
When you're sitting with somebody in a room, just you and them. Right.
Unlike me, you're looking at a screen.
I'm looking at a 10-second delay on YouTube.
You might as well be on Zoom. This is this is.
I might as well be. This is worse than Zoom.
Hold on. I'm not calling. This is called. You know what this is called? In-person Zoom. Bubba's got this new technique. It's called in-person Zoom.
This is in-person discount Zoom on crack, is what this is.
It is. With this shit that you got me on, that almost fucking killed me.
You know what I want to know? When the fuck are you gonna get Tucker back on here?
Never.
Oh,
I want Tucker back on here.
That's
I know.
That's a sore spot for
me
Bubs.
too.
Why is that? So why is it a sore spot?
Because we were such good friends. I mean, called every Tuesday. I got
one of my favorite guests.
That was one of my favorite. Me too.
I basically, became good friends with Tucker when he was between jobs, and so that's what gave him the time to call in. Is because, he didn't have anything on we have him call in every Tuesday because he didn't have anything fucking going on. So he would call the show on our Sirius XM show every Tuesday. And I mean, oh my God, the stuff we would get into.
That's good.
And then after that one particular, I don't know, organization they went and downloaded all of my
Was it
Bubba.
Media Matters that did it?
Media Matters. You know, listen, here's a call. Listen.
What they went
Is
after
he
you?
liberally conservative or conservatively liberal?
This is Tucker Carlson talking about swinging. I mean, I got so much of this stuff.
Fox News.
Hold on here. Hold on. Get a voice violation. Hold on. What's up, Tuck? How are you?
Good morning, gentlemen.
We had a swinger.
My mind is blown by the conversation I've just been listening to.
We were talking
Swinger chair.
about swinger. We don't know a lot about it, but there's a swinger fest that's happening down in Miami here soon, and we had the King of Swing on a couple weeks ago, and he was describing that the hottest new rage amongst the swingers is what they call the chocolate room, and it's where they bring in a bunch of African American gentlemen, and well, I think you kind of get it.
Yeah, I kind of got that. It's a pretty good deal for them.
For the black
For the
guys,
chocolate?
I couldn't sign up fast enough, Brent. If I was a black guy. So anyway, I mean, we would get into all kind, and I have so much content, Danny, that I just need to wrap my head around because this. I mean, I should probably would do well if I did it right on YouTube, right?
Oh hell yeah, it would do well. I
got so much shit.
Didn't you say you interviewed Bill Clinton?
Yes.
What was that about?
I didn't interview, but I spoke to Bill Clinton.
Okay.
But I got calls from remember the guy, Rattlesnake Davis, that killed him and his girlfriend killed her mom.
Put bleach in her
and
blood.
he injected bleach, and he was from Lutz or something like that.
Inverness.
And anyway, his name was Rattlesnake Davis. They arrested him. And him and his girlfriend, Valissa, or something like that, injected bleach into her mom's veins, and they killed her.
Oof.
And he calls me from prison. This is him from prison because I was on 98 Rock just fucking up. Adam Rattlesnake Davis, you piece of shit. I hope you rot in hell what you did to that lady. This guy calls me up. You can join in if you like. I got Rattlesnake Davis.
Goes by Adam now.
Okay, supposedly from the Hillsborough County Jail, calling collect on a special line right now. Is this Mr. Davis right now?
Yeah.
Now, how can I be assured that it's really you?
Give me the other two people involved in the incident.
John and my old lady.
And your old lady who is?
Valessa Robinson.
Valessa Robinson.
My old lady.
This is a guy who may have been put to death. Has he been put to death yet, Blitz, or is he still on death row?
I don't know.
I think he's still on death row. This is right after he got arrested from the Hillsborough. Calls me up. And you know that we've had your. I'm sorry, Anita.
Has he been cleared by his lawyer to do this?
Hey, shut the fuck up, bitch.
Oh.
Okay, are you there, ma'am?
Yeah.
Now at this point, we're telling Anita, shut the fuck up.
He has not been yet.
Listen, we had your family on the phone. Did you know that?
My family?
Yeah.
Your sister and your stepmother.
And your stepmom.
Uh-huh.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
What the hell were you thinking when you killed Miss Robinson?
Well, let's put it this way. I didn't kill nobody, and you're jumping to conclusions, going and accusing people for something they didn't do.
All right, then what did you do?
What did you do then?
What did I do?
Yeah.
I didn't do anything.
He admitted it.
And I don't appreciate you going on air accusing people of stuff that you don't even know what happened.
This is back when you were riding the back of a paint van.
Yeah, this is.
And this is
Fuck, this is good.
When you were mums.
God, I had one of your guests, one of the guys. He wasn't a guest, but you were talking about him one morning. A guy who robbed a pharmacy with a syringe to get a bunch of the Oxycontin.
Yeah, I remember talking about that.
I'm friends with that guy, and I had him on my podcast recently, and he told his whole prison story, and he talked about how it was so fucking awesome that you were talking about him.
Tell him to come on the podcast. We're desperate.
Really? All right, we'll get him on.
Hold on here, listen. Well, then, why don't you tell us what happened?
Nothing happened.
Well, what do you mean nothing happened?
How'd she die?
I'm not going into that subject because I got lawyers to handle that, but I just wanted to let you know I don't appreciate you.
But listen, this would be your opportunity to clear your name. If nothing happened, then go ahead and tell your side of the story.
Anita, when you read the newspaper, does it not come across that he's guilty and he admitted it?
He admitted it in Texas, all three of them.
Right, so anyway, I got shit like that. Here's Tuck.
Is he liberally conservative or conservative?
Hard to know what Tucker's talking about here. But after he went big time, Fox put the kibosh on him coming on my show ever again. Since Media Matters started fucking with him. Yep. Tucker is probably grooving to this 70s average white man, picking up the pieces when he was wearing bell bottoms, smoking Marlboro Reds in San Francisco. Probably San Diego. What's up, Tuck?
Bubba!
Oh.
I'm grooving to it right now.
Oh, yeah,
It's
you get-
behind the wheel of my vehicle, caught in traffic in D.C. I'm
Oh, my
grooving
God.
out.
It's a rare day that you're driving yourself, my friend.
I know. You know, it's funny. My driver and my auxiliary driver have the day off.
So
And
you're
so
driving.
I was going to get one of my manservants to do it, but then I thought, you know what? I'll take the old rolls out for a spin, see how it drives. I haven't done it in many years.
My
And
mom,
It's pretty nice.
my mom is down to 3 cigarettes a day
No.
on the e-cigarette, and he would talk about how he smokes Marlboro Reds, and
Choose Nicorette.
we got shit that nobody's ever heard of, Danny, from Tucker,
Why did he smoke Marlboro Reds?
because he likes.
He got the rush or what? Something?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
No,
Now, have
dips.
you how's your experience been with the e-cigarette?
It's been pretty good. I got to be honest with you, Bubba. I went away this weekend.
Right.
I went to a party up in Maine. We had a party at our place there, and I did smoke some of the real cigarettes.
What was the brand? If we can give some homage to the Marlboro Red,
It was Marlboro Red, in fact.
and how good was it?
It was unbelievable. I mean, I don't smoke, and I'm about to I'm turning 40 on Saturday, and so I'm never touching it again.
But I'm gonna say, Danny, we have such on my archives of shit that I got. I just gotta somehow get a guy like you with a blitz kicker and something like that, and figure out how to do this shit. Don't you think?
Yeah, you do. You got to start repurposing all that old stuff and publishing it and get back on the horse.
Do you put all that stuff on YouTube? Is that what you do with
Yeah,
it?
that's what you got to do.
And
We
you
gotta
just tag it all up, Tucker Carlson back in the day, or Tucker Uncensored,
Yep,
or
yep.
how do you do it?
Get you a little Photoshop Willie in here and get him Photoshop designing some thumbnails and some titles and hacking some titles and publishing them on YouTube and blow it up.
You think I could be as big as you one of these days, and I won't be taking your call no
I mean,
more?
you're already bigger than me, so
Stop.
especially once you start putting that stuff on
Physically.
YouTube,
Oh, sorry.
absolutely, it's going to blow up.
I'm not bigger than you. I mean, I'm maybe in radio, but not. I'm not bigger than
I
you.
mean, more people know about Bubba the Love Sponge than they know about Concrete McGillicuddy. That's for sure.
How'd you figure the name Concrete with a K?
Well, actually, it started as like my own little advertising. So I started making like commercials and stuff, and I was doing a lot of advertising for like local brands and big national brands, and it was only advertising. And I had the old name of my company used to be Salt Media Group, and I got a cease and desist one day after I started publishing shit on YouTube because it started like getting recognized. From some company out in LA who had a media company or a marketing company called Salt Media Group. So they said, change your name or we're going to sue you. And I was like, fuck, I need to figure out a new name. And another friend of mine came to me and he was like, hey, I know you're trying to think of a new name for your company. He's like, I was going to get this name for my construction company. It's available. It's a domain available on GoDaddy right now. You can buy it for $5,000. It's concrete.com, spelled with a K.
But $5,000?
Yeah.
It's cheap for a domain.
But this was like in 2011. So I was like, wow, it's even back then it was rare to get a very simple one word name with a .com.
Yep.
And I thought it was kind of cool. It was like a, kind of cool because it starts with a K. It's like Calvin Klein, but not concrete. Kind of plays on with, the documentary type stuff because it's concrete, solid, whatever. And I was like, fuck it. So I just bought it and I named it Concrete. Really no other reason behind it besides the name, but it was a cool looking name and it was available for sale on GoDaddy.
Okay. And what was your very first guest outside of Ben?
On the podcast, the very first guest was, I think it was this guy Omar. He shoots rap videos, like hip hop videos for all the for Gucci Mane, Plies, Pee Wee Longway, like all of the biggest like hip hop artists that come out of Atlanta and the East Coast. He shoots their music videos.
Really? What was his deal?
He's jet setting around in Jamaica right now with this guy Gucci Mane, and he shoots basically he's shooting a documentary for him, I think, and he shoots all his music videos.
That was your first guy.
Yeah, he's a big slinging dangalang in the hip hop.
Anna, who was the guest that got you down the West Virginia Metzgers or whatever?
Oh, Mark Lita.
Mark Lita.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know
cool.
about Soft White Underbelly. I feel like I should have because it's huge. I think he was even on Rogan. Like you have some crossover with like guests that have been on Rogan.
Yeah.
Like
He's
a lot.
Danny motherfucking Jones.
I know, like
bitch.
that Tom O'Neill guy, the CIA
I was
Charles
just gonna
Manson
mention
guy.
him. Yeah, he is.
He
that's
was
one of
on
my
Rogan.
favorite
I saw. I
ones.
was like, oh my
Don't
god.
think we're not up on your shit, Danny. My people are up on your shit, buddy.
Tom O'Neill was that his story was mind bending.
I watched his. I haven't watched it on yours to be honest, but I did watch it on Rogan's, and he talks about the CIA and how Charles Manson was probably a victim of MK Ultra and all this stuff, which is right up my alley. I love that shit.
His story is amazing because he wasn't even interested in that. He didn't give a shit about the Manson murders. Like he was just trying to make some money. He was just trying to make some money doing reporting, and he got offered to get paid to do some sort of story on like the 10-year anniversary of the LaBianca murders, and he just ended up going down a 10-year rabbit hole. And he's done more research and digging and investigation on that case than anybody in history. And it goes against the main narrative of the Manson murders, which is Helter Skelter, which is written by the prosecutor of that trial. So it's pretty fucking.
I wish I
mind-blowing.
could steal Danny away on a podcast, but my podcast ain't as big as the ones I'm stealing him away from. So you shouldn't can't steal him away. Does that make any sense?
Steal me away from what?
I said I'd like to steal Danny away and do a podcast with him, but how can you steal away a guy from that plays for the NFL that I'm asking him to be like in the NCAA one? You can't steal
Canadian Football League.
Yeah.
You're really gassing me up here.
Yeah,
I'm
really
not as big. I'm not really that.
I will
big
tell
a
you
deal.
this: I can drop the mic on all the motherfuckers with this this right here. Danny, you don't have this. You ready for this one?
Yeah.
This in-studio guest that I had at one time. I know we're living back in the day. Fuck it, it's all I got. What's up, Rogan?
What's up? Now we're on real radio.
That's right.
Yeah, now we're on where you can be yourself, my friend.
Thank God.
Joe Rogan in studio. Joe Rogan in studio. Is that pretty cool, Danny? I'm not trying to fucking, be show and tell, brag or willy, but
that's pretty badass.
Take off the shackles.
It's like, you almost really can't do a good interview with Joe if you can't be, explicit. Because, that's what Joe's all about. He's a guy's guy. He speaks like we do.
Go to his comedy show.
He likes to get high. He likes to float in flotation devices. He feels bad for whores when he goes to for the strip clubs and says, "I feel bad for these ladies." That's how he rolls.
I feel worse now that I have a baby myself. I get real weirded out.
You just had a baby about 9 months ago, did you not? Boy or girl?
Girl.
Oh, it even makes it worse.
Way worse.
See,
I can't go to strip clubs. I'm like, I don't want to see no bad parenting. I don't want to go and see all these mistakes, these failures, these abandoned fathers.
He sounds really hungover.
Yeah, he is.
Is he really?
Yeah, and he was talking about DMT.
Yeah.
And he was really big into DMT at that time. It may be a little bit different had you had a guy. You'd be like, come on, boy.
I know it's your job to keep track of all the, but I don't know how you do it. because there's so many fights and there's so much going on, and there's always.
There's Spice Boy fucking thief.
The burping is so good.
Well, we used the burping to
censor him.
When we would say bad words, when we would repurpose it then on Cox. When we would replay it the next day, like on our terrestrial show, that we'd have to have it. We had to cut out some of the. Some of the bad words, so to speak.
Would you guys really be crushing tons of McDonald's at 6 a.m. right when you started the show? Or was that just an ad?
No, we crushed everything.
So I remember you talking about McMuffin. I'm on my fourth McMuffin at 6 a.m.
He was 488 pounds at one point.
Yeah,
fuck, man.
I couldn't wipe my ass, Danny. I had to have my girlfriend wipe my ass.
And then he cheated on her.
Oh, yeah, you talked about wiping your ass with a towel, didn't you?
He didn't.
Well,
she did.
She did.
With a beach towel?
Bubba
Like a full?
Yeah, full. It couldn't be just a standard towel. It had to be beach. Thanks for putting that part in there, Danny. Yeah, it was a beach towel, the kind that most of your entire families can fit on. I would have to use for my fat fucking ass.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I never forgot about that.
No, it'll be forever seared in your brain.
When you had Joe on your show, was that before he started his podcast, or how big was he back then? Or was he was obviously touring doing comedy that's why he was in Tampa, right?
Right. Lummy, do you know the date? Was that 08
It was 2009. 2009.
He started in 07 podcasting.
He started. He was not. The podcast wasn't as big in 09 then.
But it was in 09 nonetheless, and I can remember him. Danny taking me aside as I was kind of walking him out. And he's like, man, if you just after this show that you did, but he didn't understand. I did a morning show at that time, then had a 4-hour delay, and then did an afternoon drive show, both live. So, I lived in Tierra Verde at the time, so we had studios about a mile from here. So I went and bought a gym that's right around here too, that's still around, and we would do the morning show 6 to 10, and then 2 or 3 of us would go over to the gym and work out for a couple hours, and then come back to the studios. And we all had recliners and stuff in our offices, and we'd lay down for a couple hours. Then we'd go back and do the serious show. So then when I was walking Joe out, Joe was like, "Listen, after the serious show, you should just stick around for like another hour and really just do a podcast." I'm like, "Joe, I'm already fucking doing 2 shows. Like, I can't do a podcast. There's no fucking money." And then I used to make fun of podcasts. I'd be like, "I don't want to be a fucking podcast, Willie. That shit's bullshit." When you're making 4 or 5 million base, when they're paying you 4 or 5 million to do 2 shows, you give a fuck about podcasting. And I should have.
Before that, though, he was like on a lot of big radio. Like he was on Howard. He was on what was the other one?
Opie and Anthony.
Opie and Anthony.
Yeah.
Those guys were like always trying to get him on his shows.
Yeah,
so he had a natural talent.
And he had really developed. Was a good guest. Like if you were a good radio show, Joe would be on your show because he was the ultimate promoter. He was always promoting his stand up, or he was promoting UFC. He wasn't even really promoting the podcast back then. It was more his stand up deal. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he did it because he did O&A a lot, and he would hang out at Anthony's house for the compound shows.
Right.
And that's why he started doing it, is because he saw Anthony doing it.
Right.
So he did it just for fun. He didn't do it to make money.
Right. And then it just, kind of.
So he says.
Now, did you see?
He didn't back then when it was just him and Red Band.
Now, hold on. Did you see where Sirius XM just paid Conan O'Brien $150 million for his podcasting library, and then like a show that he's going to do?
Like his archives?
Well, they paid him $150 million for. He owns. Does Conan has kind of an umbrella of a podcasting company that I think produces several different podcasts.
Okay.
And so they bought all that, and then they signed the $150 million is also part of Joe. I'm sorry. Conan has to provide a a show, 3 or 4 day a week show for them.
They bought the entire podcast network that he had.
Yeah.
Team Coco.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that also require him to do a show on Sirius XM. Now, do they think that that's going to be the replacement for Stern? Like, do they think that? And what do guys like you, Danny, think of like Sirius XM? Is that antiquated technology as well? Like, what do you think about that?
Well, I don't know anything about. I know it comes standard in new pickup trucks when you buy them.
Right.
I know people. The only people I know that have Sirius are the people that have it for Howard. They only have it 'cause they want to listen to Howard, and that's only like a handful of people that I know.
And that has changed tremendously. Like Howard has, as he's gotten older, has kind of changed his MO, so to speak. He doesn't have strippers anymore. He's gotten very political. This whole COVID thing has really freaked him out.
Yeah, he kind of did a weird thing for the whole COVID thing, right? He went like super scared.
Oh yeah, he's
calling out anybody who didn't want to get a vaccine.
Yeah, and I don't think that he'll
super
ever
anti-Trump.
And I don't think that he'll ever do another show from a studio ever again. Like, I think that he's perfected and likes the home deal so much, and they've engineered it quite well. I will give him that, but I don't think that he'll ever do another show again, in my opinion.
Yeah.
How is Tfue? You know Tfue pretty well, don't you?
Yeah, I know.
What do you think
well.
Tfue would think about my compound here? Do you think he would think it was cool?
I think he'd be impressed by it. I think he'd really like it.
Really?
Yeah, I think you're just you need the gym because he likes to work out now. He likes to get all jacked up.
The gym's only like 0.3 of a mile from here.
Okay.
So what I have to do would I have to do the show from the gym?
Maybe. You might have to. Yeah.
You can get a treadmill.
Actually,
no.
His new thing is actually fishing too. He's been like fishing every day. So he takes his live stream rig onto his boat and they go.
He got the Chevis brothers. He got the Chevis kids.
No, I don't think he even knows the Chevis kids.
Because if he did, if he knew Cody, he'd be catching some fish.
If he knew Cody, he'd definitely be catching a lot more fish than he is right now.
If you know Cody, fish just jump into the boat.
Fuck.
Isn't he
Cody
arguably one of the best fishermen you've ever seen?
Cody is the Elon Musk of fishing.
He is.
He really is.
Cody Chevis. And I don't know what makes you a good fisherman. I just know that as soon as you say that name, anybody that knows anything about fishing is like, holy shit, that kid knows how to fish. Now, what, Lummy, you're in the fishing business, so to speak. Like, what makes a person knowing how to fish? How many fucking fish you catch?
They got enough dynamite.
No, I mean, It's just kind of like knowing where to go, hit your spots, get your locations, know what time to get up, look at the tides. It's like studying it. And then, finding the different ways the water is, finding the little hot spots, like going to the middle ground, but like kind of looking around at the different way the shelves go with the tides. Because that's, people just think I'll go to the middle ground, throw my hook down, and I'll catch a bunch of stuff. But it all depends also on the tides in the water. Because where they hide.
Now, Danny, are you a fisherman? I know you're an underwater shot guy, but are you a fisherman per se?
I mean, I grew up around fishing. Everyone I knew fish. I spent a lot of big portion of my life on boats fishing and spear fishing and diving and shit like that. But like nowadays, I don't go fishing that much. No, it's not like one of my hobbies.
You're making too much money now. You're making too much money now.
No, that's not it. It's just not one of my things that I like to go do. Like, I like doing it every once in a while. I think it's fun. Like my favorite way to go fishing is to go with Cody. Like if you're not going fishing with Cody, you're not going fishing.
Well, if you're going fishing with Cody, you're going to catch something.
Exactly. And the thing about him is like he doesn't even give a shit about catching the fish. He likes putting other people on the fish. Right. He likes other people catching fish. And
I'm going to call Frank and make him Cody make me take me out.
Yeah, you have to. I mean,
that'd be a great video.
Catching tarpon with him is so much fun.
I get tired though after 20 minutes. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm never gonna get this fishing. Cody, take the pole back.
You hate fishing. You like catching.
Yeah, there you go. I like somebody to hook it. I don't have time to fucking sit here, hold this pole, wait for something to bite, set the hook. How about you do all that and then hand me the pole, let me try to reel it in till I get fucking tired of that, and then you take it back over.
Yeah, you'd never be able to catch a tarpon then.
I saw Fabrizi catch a tarpon, and I was like, "Oh my god, the muscles! You can go to the gym all you want, you still can't build up your fishing muscles."
Well, it's not that; it's the hours of waiting to get one.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, he's not. He doesn't even give a shit about catching them. He just likes finding them.
What does he do for a living? Does he own his own?
That's what
company?
He does.
It's just like
he does chart. I think I'm. I don't know 100%. I don't know everything he does, but I know that a big part of it is doing these charters, like these private charters. He has
and there's
big
a ton of money in that, isn't
He's
there?
got big wigs from all over the country, the world that come here just to go fishing with him.
He does a lot of fishing tournaments too, though. Like he goes out because you can make a good amount of money just traveling around with.
Fabrizi made $75,000 on King of the Beach one year.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you hit 3 or 4 of those tournaments, you're fucking set, right?
Yeah.
The problem is a lot of those guys cheat.
Well, that's what he said.
That's what they said Fabrizi did.
I know there's one guy who has done a lot of tournaments who's cheated a lot, and Cody actually called him out for it a bunch. And
it's where you catch a fish and keep him alive, and then you keep him alive, and then
I don't know exactly what they do, but I think they go like way out of the territory where they're allowed to go. Like they'll get some big boat, they'll go hop in an airplane and fly to the Bahamas or something ridiculous.
Right. Some bullshit and then bring it back. That's something Fabrizi would do.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, it sure is.
So Danny, I mean, do you do well enough to make a pretty good living with your podcast?
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to do. It's over the last, for the last 5 years of my life when I started doing the whole YouTube thing, it's been a really like a life changer because creating shit for other people, especially like commercials and ads, which I had to do before, and even like working on shows or movies that I didn't really care for.
Even being an underwater shot guy, right?
Exactly. Oh no, underwater shot guy was different. That was kind of like that's kind of like what sparked it. But then like once you transition into doing it as like a job, working for people and shooting other things, working on movies, which is like working on a construction site essentially.
Right.
Having the freedom to just create whatever you want to create and put it out there and watch people like enjoy it. And then having the freedom to do whatever you want and make your own schedule, that's been kind of like the biggest life changer.
You got a good schedule too. I think you tape on Fridays, right?
Yeah, Mondays and Fridays usually.
You tape on Mondays and Fridays.
Yep.
Now, do you do all the editing and all that?
Yeah, but there's really no editing.
No, not a lot. You're right.
The podcast really is not edited. I have a team of people who do the clips. We have a separate YouTube channel which has like 70,000 subscribers that are all clips, like highlights of all of the shows. I mean, that's like the standard thing when you have a podcast. Everyone has a clip channel.
Yeah, that's what I started watching. Because sometimes you don't have like an hour or an hour and a half. You have 12 minutes and you want to see something.
Right. Some people just want to see the Hogan bit. They want to hear Bubba talk about, I let him fuck my wife. But then they see that and they get interested. Then they go, I'm going to watch the full 3-hour episode.
Thing. Yeah. That's what happened with the Andrew Bustamante thing for me.
You got clicked?
Yeah, I got clicked, and I'm like, oh, this is really interesting. I'm going to watch the whole thing now, and I did.
Blitz, are we big enough? We're not big enough to start to click yet, are we, buddy?
The clip channel?
The clips.
The clip.
Kind of. It's what we
like the best of, sort of.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
I mean, no, you just need to start chopping up all the old crazy Tucker, Joe, frickin' Bill Clinton shit and posting it on YouTube. Just like getting somebody to do the thumbnails and the title.
And even if it's not video, even if it's just their logo, right?
Yeah.
If it's just a picture of them, but it's.
But the Rogan one's on video.
Right. The Rogan one's on video. Right. Yeah. Right. But just getting all this shit out, right?
Yeah, get it all out
I think
there.
eventually I'm going to be big time again. But when we leave, I'm going to show you some of my shit, and you're going to freak out, I think.
I can't wait to see it. You're going to rise like a phoenix, like a goddamn phoenix from the ashes.
I'm trying to tell everybody that, but
No one's listening.
Anna, do you think that I mean, first of all,
I'm really excited to see what's going to happen, in the next year with the. You've said there's a documentary underway,
Right.
so I'm not spoiling any secrets. But I really am excited to see what's going to happen when that comes out.
Now, Danny, if that doc did hit, would it just explode everything? Like just talking about my YouTube channel, would it just explode everything? Does it just like I'll be honest with you, being on your podcast, that got me like realistically in a week, I picked up like 500 or 600 or 700, new subscribers. Usually I pick up about 200 a week.
Then imagine if
Yeah.
you went on like Rogan.
I don't know why you don't do more podcasts like that. I mean, there's plenty of podcasts that are way bigger than mine that would
They
love
would
to
want
have
me?
you as guest. Oh yeah, of course.
I've tried to get you on Caller Daddy. Didn't work, but I tried.
You did?
Yeah, like multiple
What
times.
did you say to him?
Well, I tried to reach out in every way I could, but it seemed like the girl who hosts the show is the one who reaches out. She even said that she chooses her guests and stuff. So I try to reach out.
But what's her name?
Alex Cooper.
I think I might have been the one that turned you on to Call Her Daddy.
Yes, you did. We can give you credit for that.
No, I know. I think I did Janessa. I think I told Janessa
Because I was
about
listening when I was working at the Bone.
All right, you're right.
Soup Man drama. I got pulled into that.
She told you to pack sand on Bubba the Love Sponge.
Well, the difference is a lot of those.
No, she didn't respond.
Once you have something to promote, that's
Yeah. See, I'm kind of waiting, Danny, to do
Right.
the podcasting circuit when I have. Hey, I'm Bubba the Love Sponge, but here's the thing.
Why they'll have you back on?
They would?
Yeah, of course.
Oh.
Yeah, get on there and hype it up
and crush
then,
it.
and then come back when the documentary's out. You're gonna have people knocking your door down trying to get you on their shows.
Okay, so you have had some unbelievable guests.
Some of the best guests I've had on more than once. I mean, and it doesn't.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it doesn't just because they're on twice doesn't mean it's any less popular.
And I want you to be completely honest with me because I'm no punches. But like as far as guests wise, how did I do as a guest?
The best.
No,
as good as you can possibly do.
Really?
Oh, 100%.
Well, thank you.
It's a game you play. Obviously, when you're doing this, it's like it's a talent that you are obviously have more of than I think anybody that I've ever had on there. You might not have some crazy true crime story, working for the CIA or capturing terrorists, but the
Very
way
charismatic.
You did used to counterfeit money, though, Bubba.
Oh yeah, you did say that, didn't you? You said you used to counterfeit money.
I didn't counterfeit it. We didn't get into it on yours, so we might as well finish it up here. So back in like 97, 98, probably when you're either graduating or mom's painting or some bullshit, I'm on 98 Rock, and I get on the air, and I'm like, I had this new printer. And it's back when, it was just a regular fucking colored printer is all, that's all it was. But I printed a dollar bill on my printer. And I got on the air. Now, this is when radio was never visual. Like in 1999, 2000, there was no visual part of my show at all. There was, that's one of the things that made my show so good is that
Theater of the mind.
I could create a good theater. I'm a good storyteller. And so, I would paint a good picture as a radio guy. So I get on the air and I go, hey, Guido, hey, Cowhead. Look, I got, look what I made on my new printer. And I showed them this dollar bill that was a printed dollar bill. And I go, you know what? And now it's when I owned like Planet Bubba on Gulf to Bay. So I always had a bunch of ones on me because I'm in the bar business. And from the pool tables and the vending machines and all that kind of bullshit, I always had a bunch of ones.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had about 30 or 40 ones that I had just got from the bar, my bar that I owned. And I told the guys, okay, look what I printed. And they're like, oh, fuck, that looks real. So I handed them, I go, see if these will work in the vending machine. So I handed them 5 real dollar bills, real ones. They were real dollars. I said, call me on a cell phone, call in to the studios, and let me know. So Khaled goes down there, and he puts the first one in, and he goes, oh, my God, it worked. I'm like, oh, my God, well, I got a whole bunch of these, which I did. I had 35 of them. And I'm going to buy everybody
Just
fucking snacks.
empty the vending machine, basically.
Yeah. I said, put all those fucking... Well, I never printed a fake bill. I didn't use a fake bill in the machine. The next thing you know, that was like about 7:30, 9:15, the Secret Service walks into my studio.
While you're on the air?
While I'm on, like literally right now, if we were on the air, they walked in, they badged, their way clear to the studios. They showed the secretary, the general manager, the PD, everybody. They badged, they badged their way in, Blitz. And they walk in, they come over to me, they badge me.
You're like on the air detailing what's happening.
Like literally right now.
Like, oh my God, the Secret Service is here. Oh my God, they're talking to me.
And they tell me to shut up. They go and they have the engineer of the radio station.
Cut the feed.
Turn my mics off. And they hit a song and they said, come with us.
Oh, shit.
And so they separate us and they ask me, where's your fake dollars? And I said, I have one that I made a cop. I scanned a dollar bill on my printer and I showed the guys. I walked them through the story. And I said, fellas, really, I have, $40 of real money here. And we use that. It's fucking show business. It's theater of the mind, guys. They're like, So listen to this, Danny. I lived in Pinellas Park at the time. It was when I was building my big house. So many laws were broken here. They made me, they're like, okay, we're going to drive to your house. You're not under arrest, but we're still, so this is an open investigation. The more you cooperate, the easier it's going to go. So I'm like, okay. So they follow me to my little Pinellas Park home where I'm living. They find out how they got, you got any guns? Do you have any guns in your, I'm like, yeah, I got all kinds of guns. It's my right to have, right? Blitz, I had fucking AR-15, fucking, a bunch of shit. They went and found all my guns, Danny. They put him in the bathtub and put an armed guard there to watch all my guns. They then asked me where my computer was and my printer. I took them to my little office, and they physically took my computer box and my printer and made me follow them downtown to their Secret Service office, which was downtown in the Bank of America building at the time. They handcuffed me to a pole and said, we're going to go look, look at your computer. They went through my computer. Now, thank God I didn't have some fucking, porn and some shit on there.
Right.
Some shit that I probably would have on today's computer. And they said, we're going to go through your computer to see if you're really counterfeiting. I'm like, I'm telling you guys, they go through my computer. They didn't find anything. They went through the fucking printer and they come back. They unhandcuff me. But before they unhandcuff me, the director of the Secret Service. Now, a lot of people don't realize the Secret Service is the people that police counterfeiting. Right. People would think that the FBI or the CIA. No, the Secret Service is in charge of the president, and for some fucking reason, they put Secret Service in charge of counterfeiting.
Any kind of crime that involves money.
Right. So, the head of the Secret Service, who was this lesbian-looking woman, who was very stiff and very mean to me, came to me and she says, "We're letting you go now, but if counterfeiting in the city of Tampa increases more than it usually does, we're going to charge you with all of it because they all got the ideas from your show." I go, ideas? I didn't tell anybody how to do it. I just asked if these told me to shut the fuck up, grab my computer box and my printer, and get out of there. There's my there's my counterfeiting story.
That's fucking wild.
I should have lawyered to fuck up. I mean, Blitz, at the end of the day, they had no right to go into my house.
Nope.
Did they? They didn't have a fucking search warrant. They had no right to...
you gave them permission.
I know. But you don't
So
have
that's
to.
the right. You don't have to at all, but if you give them permission, then they're allowed to do whatever they want.
And once you give them permission,
Yep.
fuck.
Yep.
They even found Holly's dildos.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
They found dildos and all kinds lube and all kinds of shit. So that's my counterfeiting story. I know it's not near as glamorous as the Picasso of counterfeiting, but I got a hold of him, Danny, and I think we're going to have him. And I think next time he's going to visit his friend down here, he has to clear it with his probation guy. But I was going to have him on the air. I found his story fascinating.
Yeah, there's actually another guy who I've been trying to get on way before him. This guy named Art. I forget his last name. He wrote the book that inspired this kid. He lives in California right now. He's out of prison and he's doing like all this crazy art where he makes he paints crazy art pictures and like makes art sculptures that it all revolves around money. And he's got his own like exhibit somewhere in California right now. I forget the name of his. If you just Google him, it's like Art Williams. Arthur Williams is his name. He is like the godfather of counterfeiting money. And he, I believe, counterfeited way more than this guy. And he actually wrote the book that inspired this guy
to counterfeit.
To counterfeit, yeah.
I went through this whole this whole thing here. Jeff Turner, right?
Yeah, Jeff. Yep. The book that inspired this guy.
Oh, I don't know. You know what? I'd probably get a violation. If I played this, Blitz, I'd probably get a copyright strike, even though I got the motherfucker
Danny
that owns
Jones
it
will
right
copyright
here.
strike you so fast.
No, you won't get a copyright strike. That's only for people who have the
YouTube, I got the motherfucker right here. He said it's okay. They don't give a fuck. Our algorithm don't pick up motherfuckers are in your studio, do
that
they?
shit looks good on your big-ass TV.
See, this is what you need, buddy. Look at that.
is
Now,
what
hold
I
on.
need.
Look at
Holy
that.
shit.
And see, now listen, I also have the ability to pipe shit through. I'm just going to put
a car for...
See, so I have the ability to pipe shit through. I got a lot of shit, Danny.
I need that. I need to learn
Look at
from
that.
you.
You know, boom. Look.
I think it was $500.
Boom. I can pipe anything through so that you can see it. Everybody can see it. My on-air people can see it. If Blitz puts it up on the screen, but he's not gonna, because we're gonna get a copyright, Willie.
You're not gonna get copyright.
Even though I got
you won't get a copyright from that.
The fuck we won't.
You won't. I'm not part of one of those multi-network deals. Only people that are part of those big networks that consolidate all the YouTube channels and like monetize them, they're the ones that'll copy.
So I got you in here. How cool is this effect?
An 8-ball of heroin for 2000.
So you can see it on your computer. The feed gets it. I got it on the big screen.
Charger. So I was like, bro, that's a stolen car.
You need that technology.
I do need that technology.
You need to hire my boy Blitz over here to come fucking wire your shit up.
I really do. I need to figure out what the fuck I got going on because right now.
Listen, you help me with some booking. I'll send my fucking. I'll ask nicely if my engineer will go over there.
Hell yeah,
Blitz,
I need him, man.
Blitz, my good friend.
Blitz.
Would you go over there and wire him up an end screen, Willie, if he got us really good guests, buddy?
Sure.
Of course he would.
100%. He's like, no, the guy.
I think
it looks good up there.
I think this guy would have got away with it if he hadn't gotten too greedy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, he was just trying to feed his addiction, right? He was fucked up on, what was he on? He was on heroin, trying to just afford heroin. That's the problem with these guys. Like Matt Cox wasn't trying to pay for his drug habit. He was just feeding his ego, trying to make more money.
That's what Matt Cox might be the cleanest guy, substance-wise, that you've ever had on there.
Yeah, definitely. And they still put him through the whole drug program in prison.
How's Matt doing? Did you tell him about my Georgia boots with the inserts?
No.
How he could get without? He didn't have to get leg extensions. He could just get these boots.
He's already got those boots, Bubba. I told you.
He does?
He's super short.
He already has those. He's just got like a full makeover. Last couple of times, every time I see him, he looks like more.
I need to turn him on to Dr. Diaco. Dr. Diaco needs to get his service. I mean, Danton's the best plastic surgeon there is.
What's wrong?
Matt's got a great fucking hairline. Have you seen his hairline? He's got like a $10,000 hairline, and it's survived all the way through prison. Better than mine.
What does he want to change about himself?
I don't think he wants to change it. I think he's actually, you know what? He did tell me that if he had, I asked him like, what would you do if you had all the money in the world? You could do any kind of plastic surgery. He goes, I'd revisit the hairline, and he said he wants to get a chin facelift again.
What?
He wants to get the skin tightened around his face a little bit more. Again, yeah.
I wonder if he's up.
If he's what?
I think
we can call people on here. Oh my God!
Danny,
are you calling Matt?
Danny, you got to start coming in more often.
This is sick.
Oh yeah, and it's legal too. You don't have to fucking tell. I mean, I'm just saying. Follow my
This
lead
is
here.
great.
If he even answers, I mean,
He'll answer.
Danny, we'd have fun with you coming in. We got a lot of capabilities.
God.
We can call people.
You have all the capabilities.
Yeah, we got it all.
Great. Come on, answer.
Answer, Matt Cox.
Come on, Matt.
Come on, Matt. I know you're fucking doing artwork with your penis right now. Fucking answer. Oh, right to voicemail.
Your call has been forwarded.
What
hold
a
on.
dick.
Hold on.
Call Concrete Clem.
Hold on.
5-1.
Pass me the number to Concrete Clem.
Okay.
Give it over to Anna to run up here. Hold on.
At the
Hold on,
tone,
here we go.
please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Matt Cox, it's Bubba the Love Sponge live on the air with your boy, Danny Jones. Danny, say hi to Matt.
Matt, hello, Matthew.
We're trying to, Danny's on my show now. That's how big time I am. And we were trying to call you up, see if maybe we could do like a little reunion. I know I'm kind of mad. I'm kind of mad at you.
We want to figure out we want to get to the bottom of this.
And we
Matt.
want to get to the bottom of the madness. Maybe squash the beef, and then maybe do a super show. Me, you, Concrete Clem, and Danny Jones. And I got, and you don't have to cut off your shin bones to make yourself taller. I got these boots you can wear with inserts, bud. And we just want to, get an overall update as to how you're doing, bud. Too bad you didn't pick up the phone. You would have got like an extra 50,000 subscribers, Matt Cox.
Jesus Christ, Matt.
Jesus, Matt.
Call
really?
us back,
For
Matt.
real, Matt. For real.
If you are satisfied with your message, press 1 to listen to your message.
Re-listen because we're
Press
narcissists.
2 to erase and re-record. Message review.
Matt Cox, it's Bubba the Love Sponge live on the air with
your boy, Danny Jones. Danny, say hi to Matt.
Matt, hello, Matthew.
We're trying to. Danny's on my show now. That's how big time I am. And we were trying to call you up, see if maybe we could do like a little reunion. I know I'm kind of mad. I'm kind of mad at you.
We want to figure out we want to get to the bottom.
To send your message with normal delivery, press 1. To thank you.
So Danny, kind of here, you got the best of.
Can people call you?
Yeah, people can call me.
What's your
too.
number?
813-90 Bubba.
813-90 Bubba, and that just rings right into this big fucking machine you got right
this
here.
big fucking meat grinder of a machine I got.
Crazy.
I mean, yeah, we're fucking cool, ain't we?
You guys are really cool.
Stand by
I'm
here.
primitive compared to this.
Let me see. I'm calling guy that really works hard for a living.
Concrete Clem, a.k.a. Mr. Platinum.
He just doesn't have to fucking wake up and because he has 500,000 fucking subscribers paying the bills, he's got to lay 400 yards of concrete to make $12. He's one of Danny's co-hosts when he can make it in. Love the guy. He's probably huffing paint right now.
Yellow.
Are you getting high on concrete right now, motherfucker?
I'm high on about 20 yards of concrete right now.
Yeah. This is Bubba and Danny calling live.
Yeah, I know. I've been watching the show. I'm driving back from Bonita. I've been watching you stroke Danny's ego for about an hour now.
Oh, shit.
This Dick's next. You want to fucking join?
He's
Hey, you walk in. Hey, hold on. Fuck you, Concrete Clem. You walk in there, fucking Willie. He's the star of the show, and you walk in there trying to be a co-host. So don't fucking think you don't stroke Danny off too, bitch.
Yeah, he just tries to stroll in an hour late, strutting in his boots, thinking he's big shot Mr. Platinum over
Thinking
there.
you're all that, bitch. Did you get your Bubba Army high res?
Oh, yeah, I got all the high-vis. The high-vis shirt, the Bubba Raceway Park shirt, the whole nine.
Did you like it?
Oh, yeah.
Don't
I'm
you
wearing it. I gave one of them to the Mexicans at work already.
You know what? I'm very appreciative of that. I'm super supportive of Mexicans. Very much so. We have...
Mexicans.
We love Mexicans.
What do they all think of Bubba over there on the job site, Concrete Clem?
What do they think, Concrete Clem?
They really don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know who Bubba is, honestly. Most of them don't even speak English, to be honest.
Right. You just hope they can fucking lay some There's some concrete laying motherfuckers though, aren't they?
Yeah, we pay them very well for what they do. That's
But
for sure.
I'm going to tell you, they work hard. A Mexican man will outwork a white guy any day. Period.
Is that true?
We don't hire anything except Mexican
Yeah,
guys.
you're lucky
100%.
you're able to keep your job because if they could find a guy that could supervise these Mexicans better than you, they'd fucking get rid of your lazy ass. Just saying. Heard it
If
from
they
a
could
friend.
find a Mexican guy to supervise, that would be the ticket.
Yeah.
Do you even actually work, or do you just ride around in that luxurious truck and hit your vape pen all day?
That's all he does.
Yeah, we're riding pretty luxurious today.
Hey, Danny says you might have a better truck, but you got to work your ass off for that truck. He's just, he's fucking tanning his balls at noon most days. I'm just saying that, buddy.
Yeah, he ain't lying, but that's why you don't appreciate nothing.
He appreciates it.
I do
You know what he's
appreciate
gonna
it.
make? You know what he's gonna help me fucking wrap my head around some of the shit I got around here, and I'm gonna even get richer, and then I'm gonna hire him to do some more shit to even make him more money.
Well, hey, that sounds good. Let me know. Maybe I'll get to pour somebody's driveway or something.
Yeah, maybe you can fix our driveway. We'll let you do that. Hey, but I'm trying to do a super show with me, Matt Cox, you, and Danny Jones.
Let's go. I'm ready.
Yeah.
You know I work normal work hours, though. We got to do it after hours.
I know you're working, man. I know you are. But we'll figure it out, bud. Danny Danny likes my fucking setup. He really does. He said it's the best setup he's ever seen.
He does. He really has the nicest setup I've ever seen.
I mean, Danny, this ship has sailed, but back in the day we used to put chicks in the shower. Look, now there's band equipment in there,
Holy
but that was full cameraed and mic'd up with showers, and then girls would put the titties on the glass right there, buddy.
That is absolutely
Yeah,
bananas.
and we used to have a stripper pole. You can see the remnants of the
full
stripper.
see-through shower.
Let me show them where the stripper pole used to
Right
be.
there, she looked straight. Oh, wait.
Stripper pole there. We had to cut that off. Now
That's
it's
a real
gonna
fucking studio.
that's gonna end up being a camera mount probably. That's the story of our life, from a stripper pole to a camera mount.
This really is a nice studio. This place makes our little spot look like Section
This looks
8.
like Rockefeller Center, does it not? Compared
compared to
your
concrete.
your dad's fucking. It looks like your dad's basement compared to Rockefeller Center.
Yeah, this
But-
place even shits on Tifu's warehouse.
For real?
Oh yeah. Maybe not size, but as far as like your setup.
Oh, hold on. You've not seen it all, Danny. I got some hidden compartments I'll show you, buddy.
Ooh, we love hidden compartments.
No, we must not speak of. All right, Concrete Clem, I love you, buddy. You and I are buddies, and I love Danny. He's going to help me out. I got some shit to show him. And hope to see you soon, buddy. I think Matt Cox is calling.
All right, guys, I appreciate it. Thanks for the merch, Bubba.
Late for that. Yeah, thank you, buddy. By the way, your merch you gave me, Danny, very high quality.
Oh, yeah? Did you get it?
Yes. Hello.
Yes, sorry to bother you. I just heard you guys talking about he gets calls this one. Danny Jones, I know he gets a lot of calls from a lot of different people, and some are regulars like Tampa Terry and all them, and Buzzy and Scout and Big Gulp. But I'm really enjoying this. Red Letter Day. Y'all have a great one.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
Thank you. That's really fucking
Usually
cool.
I busy them all out. I don't want to talk to them.
They're just calling in the whole time.
If we want them to, if we asked them to.
That's really fun.
Can I tell you what we did 2 weeks ago, which was cool as fuck? Is I said, and Blitz, follow me along if I'm right here. I said, I wonder how many. Now, on Thursdays, we do a show that's not on Facebook and YouTube. We really, really make it an exclusive show. So the only way you can get the Thursday show is if you listen through our app, our Bubba Army app, or our website, BubbaArmyRadio.com. That's the only way you can get the live after show. So, it's not nearly as sexy. It's not visual. And we really never know how many people are watching or listening at a certain time. But I got a hair at my ass. I'm like, I want you to call in and tell me where you're calling from and by what means. I wonder if we got, and we had people, and within 15 minutes, we had people, and we verified their area code from where they're checking in. We had people from every state of the country. We had Turkey. We had on a Guatemala,
Australia, a few Panamanians or people from in Panama, Canada,
Turkey,
bunch of Canadians,
Guatemala. We had a girl from she Guatemalan?
Yeah,
the Guatemalan,
Puerto Rico. So we just got a hair up our ass, and like in 15 minutes, had every state and 5 countries check in.
It was pretty cool.
Pretty mind blowing. At the end of the day,
that is pretty cool, and that's a thing that I think you could integrate into. What do you think is? Obviously, when you see something like podcasting come up and become super popular like it is right now, do you ever think about I wonder what's next? I wonder what's after podcasting. What's going to turn podcasting into AM radio?
The problem is too is the name podcasting. Like what you and everyone does now isn't quote unquote podcasting. That's just what they call it. But
right.
Like the old school, the podcasting is download just the audio from a show that's been recorded in the 90s.
But
just nobody knew about it back then?
No, just the technology
That's
in
why
itself
it was called
is
podcasting.
Not really podcasting. I mean, what you're doing more vlog. Like what you really do is vlogging, right?
Well,
Danny. What Danny does, what is that considered?
It's just a sit down interview. Is
right.
Really all it is.
Right. It's more than podcasting is what you guys do.
Yeah.
Because
far more than podcasting.
It got the name podcasting because back in the day you would record an audio only show and then people would download it for their iPods.
Right. Right.
And what you guys do now is way more than that.
So I'm asking you, Danny, and Blitz, I'm asking you too, I'm asking you this question. What's the next thing you think?
I don't know. I'm curious to see what you think and other people think. I ask people this all the time because that's something I'm always thinking about. What's going to be the next iteration of it?
Anna, Blitz, what do you guys think? What's the next thing? Blitz, you first.
It'll be some sort of YouTube type something, but along the same lines. But there'll be
in terms of what, the next big thing or the next sort of
technology, so to speak.
Well, I feel like with the metaverse and
yeah.
shit and NFTs, we're kind of moving in that direction, making things less real.
Yeah, you're probably right, Danny.
More digital.
What do you think about the metaverse and NFTs? How do you? That's the world that you live in.
How do you feel about blockchain, Danny?
I don't. I mean, it's cool. It's. I actually a friend and myself have both invested in a lot of NFTs and shit over the last year. A friend of mine got me into them probably 3 or 4 months ago. This kid Brett who plays for the Rays, he owns a ton of NFTs and he's really dialed in to that whole NFT world and the whole crypto world, and he got us into it. And so it's kind of I don't know, it's just another obsession thing.
Are you still? Have you made money on it, or is there not? You don't make money till you sell them.
Yeah, no, there's so.
It's about Brett Phillips.
A friend of mine, Matt Cox, is calling me. Yeah, Brett Phillips.
If Cox, is this Cox right here?
Look,
Is this Matt Cox?
No. What's up, Bubba?
We're looking for Matt Cox.
He's calling his cell phone.
813-90 Bubba.
Call 813-90 Bubba.
Hey, man. Speaking of podcast gold, when are you going to get Jeff from Touch Vodka on, man? He's gold.
Yeah, we'll work on that. I'm trying to get a generator out of him right now.
Generator Jeff?
Yeah, he's Generator Jeff. He's no longer Touch Vodka Jeff.
Well, he knows Brett Phillips. That's who he's talking about from the Rays.
Yeah, no.
The little wiry guy from Seminole.
Brett Phillips is broke Babe's Ruth records. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Did you know that,
Is
Lummy?
that the guy that was on your show?
Mm-hmm.
He broke a record that Babe Ruth had, and Danny knows what that stat was.
Yeah, I forget exactly what it was, but he hit more
Grand Slams
in the shortest amount of time than anyone in history.
Wow.
Oh, here, this might be Matt Cox. We're looking for Matt Cox. Hello, Matt.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Here he is.
I'm actually doing videos on my show right now. But
Are we
I
interrupting?
took a break.
Are
I
we
looked
interrupting
down
you?
and I saw that you called.
We did. And I was thinking about, I've been on Danny's podcast. You've been on it a million times. That's how I got to introduce you. And you and I.
This limp-ass hand.
You,
Poor guy.
you there, buddy?
Matt.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
Are you still doing your paintings?
Of course.
Yeah. And what? And your podcast?
The podcast is going, it's a struggle, bro.
Except for
It's a
when
grind.
Jessica Kent comes in and she makes you take down all your art.
Did you fuck her?
She made me take down my Trump painting.
Did you fuck her?
No.
You would have.
Listen, her husband's like 215
Oh, yeah.
pounds.
Her husband's a
Like
juice head.
twisted
If he
steel.
wouldn't have
He
been
was-
there, though. But, boy,
No,
stop.
What are
yeah.
you doing, bro? What are you doing?
What do you mean, what am I doing? I'm telling you, I like to fuck her.
I have a girlfriend.
Oh,
that
I
beats
didn't
my
know.
ass
I
and
didn't.
wins.
I didn't know. I didn't know that. I'm saying that little bad girl ex-con prison bitch kind of fucking fantasy turns me on. I didn't know about your girlfriend or her.
Hey, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm just scared. That's a huge difference between
Let's
you
just
and
say
I.
this. Let's just say that you're single, and that she's single, and she's bad girl, and you're a bad boy. I mean, it makes for some hot
Yes.
times, don't you think?
Yes, I'd hit it. Yes.
And she'd have been a single mom, too, and you love single moms.
You do love
I've got a thing
That's
for
your bread
single
and butter?
moms, apparently.
Right. And your hair's on point. You're trying to get a couple inches off your shin bone. I mean, there's all kinds of things going on with
Oh,
Matt
yeah, I heard all those cracks. Listen, I get guys in my comment section left and right. Bubba's talking about your shoes. Bubba's talking about your shin bones. I was like,
now hold on. I suggested shoes with inserts. Danny's the one that said you were fucking sawing your femurs off trying to get two extra. I didn't bring the leg sawing up. Danny did.
unbelievable.
Danny is the one that brought the sawed femurs into the deal,
Oh,
buddy.
my God.
Don't get mad at me, Matt Cox. Please.
I have some, I have some things I'm not thrilled about my body. I mean, it's one of them. It's
As
not
everybody
everybody-
does.
Well, I'm fat as fuck. I'd love to have your body, buddy, even if I was a few inches, even if I was 4'11". I don't give a fuck.
Matt's a handsome guy, and he's got some big old SpongeBob arms to go with it.
He got big arms, fucking beautiful teeth. He's just looking for that Kurt Douglas chin, and he'll be straight the fuck up.
Your hairline rivals Johnny Depp's hairline.
That's right.
Best Bank of America money I ever spent.
Hey, one of these days, I'm not going to be able to have it here because fucking Diaco will kill you. But maybe I can go over to Danny's place and we can all do a podcast, all of us together, if you want to, buddy.
I'm ready for you to bring Diaco.
Maybe we should set up a cage match with Diaco and Matt Cox.
Diaco would kill him.
He's huge.
He would kill him.
Would he really?
6'1".
No, plus the rage now. He'll bring a fucking 17-blade scalpel and gank them like they're in prison.
Why the rage?
Hey, Matt, were you ever scared of getting shanked in prison, or is that not even a thing?
I mean, no. I wasn't. I didn't borrow. Listen, if you get stabbed in prison, you had it coming. Like I didn't borrow money. Wasn't insulting to anybody. I was very respectful.
But what about a guy like me that's insulted people for a living? Like, would they shank me?
You may have, and it depends. You'd probably be okay.
He'd probably start his own cult.
Maybe. You'd probably calm down a lot in prison. Think about it. My mouth wasn't nearly as bad in prison. I'm not saying I didn't get bitch slapped once or twice.
Did you? Did you ever have Did you have a guy fucking bitch slap the shit out of you and say, "Shut up, fucking short doggy dog, or I'm gonna whip your ass"?
Close.
Yeah. And what provoked it? Like, what did you do? You were trying to be Johnny Know-It-All, and he had enough of it, hadn't he?
I smarted off to him. I mean, we were watching TV, and he made some fucking comment, and I made a comment back, and he jumped up and hit me from behind, smashed me right from behind.
And I
blew out the capillaries in my eye. My whole eye turned red.
And guess what? You never fucking said another word to that guy, did you? Smart ass wise.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. That tamed my sassiness for about a month.
How well would Danny do in prison? I think I'd do better. Who would do better in prison, me or Danny?
Probably you.
You know, like these are the kinds of questions there's no good answer. I need to go back on Danny's show at some point.
Yeah, but Danny's fucking. Danny likes the
Bubba.
truth. Danny likes the truth. Yeah. Danny says
Boziak's here, and he goes, Bubba's got too much of a mouth on him. He'd have a problem.
What I really,
I think Danny would. Calm
Boziak
down.
survived prison. He's he's a really small guy, but he's got a tats.
Knows I got the Jim Jones drink the Kool-Aid type fucking karma too, man. I'd have all these boys being my boys.
Yeah, he would.
I'd be like, listen, all you motherfuckers, you're my boys and shit. You know what I'm saying? I want to be like, and fucking don't even worry about me. I'm big time star. I got 3,000 in my commissary. Who needs what, bitch? That's what I'd say.
Yeah. You'd definitely have some idol worship. All them guys would know who you were.
Oh, they would.
All them Florida guys.
Absolutely.
The Bubba Prison Army. I'm sure a lot of those guys definitely know who Bubba is.
We need to start a Matt Cox Bubba Prison Army, a division. You know what I'm saying? Where we go into the prisons and Now, Matt, let me ask you a question. Is it hard to get a prison interview?
In the federal system, it's difficult, yes. You're certainly not going to get it on camera, but you could get them to call. It's easier to get them to just call in for 15 minutes.
Oh, it is.
As opposed to actually getting a live interview like that. You might get an hour with a public information officer sitting there listening to you.
What if what I'm on the state level? Like if you were on the state, if a person's still on the state level and you wanted to do like
much easier.
And
much easier.
Even on film too?
In the state of Florida, I think you can definitely get cameras in the state of Florida.
Really? And do they chain the guy up so in case I ask a question that gets him right, triggers him, and he, is he trained? How does it go?
I don't know about all that. I think they'd probably unhandcuff him. Like I was interviewed in the marshal's custody. I was unhandcuffed, but they had a couple marshals in the room too.
Right.
That was when you did Dateline?
Yeah.
Tell Boziak, when's he going to get his criminal ass up in here? I want to talk to him too.
He's ready to go.
Boziak did your show, didn't he, Danny?
He said, I'll drive over there twice. Tomorrow.
Did there ever come a point, Matt, when you were like, just said, I'm fucked? Like when they were knocking on your door there in Tennessee, you're like, I'm fucked.
Oh, yeah. What are we talking about? Like for fucking, 12 and a half years, I thought it was fucked.
I know, but you never were. You always got away like a little rat.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly like a rat.
A little fucking rat.
Like a rat.
When you get in trouble, how your body temperature kind of goes up a little bit? Like, did your body temperature go up when the feds were on the door? Like, because you're not going to get in a shootout with them or nothing. You're not that kind of a guy.
No. Did my body temperature? Of course. What are you talking about? When they pulled the guns on me and threw me on the ground, and that's just a bad day.
Did you cry?
That's a bad day all the way around.
I would have cried too, probably.
Like a small child.
Yeah, like a little bitch.
Listen,
I would have.
I wasn't. I was numb. It wasn't until sentencing I cried like a baby. Now, you've never seen a grown man cry like this.
Especially when they're handing down 20 large, right?
26 plus.
God, and then you even finagled out of that, you fucker. God, you even got out of that.
I'm slippery. They didn't realize how cunning and deceitful and.
Who is tougher in prison, you or Boziak? Who's tougher in prison, you or Boziak?
Boziak handles himself better than I do. He's not the kind of guy to mouth off to people for no reason. He holds himself better than I do because he's constantly working on his image. I'm just running around saying stupid shit, getting slapped and yelled at.
You get shut. You get hit in the TV room. Meanwhile, Boziak poisons a guy at the cafeteria the next day. That's how it goes.
Exactly.
I want to hang out with Boziak, not you. Plus, guess what? Plus Diaco doesn't have a problem with Boziak.
Not yet.
No,
Not yet.
He won't either. Boziak's gonna keep his mouth shut. Unlike you, you got loose lips on you, kid.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
Listen, I like to have you back, but I'm gonna have to do a lot of fucking Switzerland repairing with this Diaco deal.
I know you're a good talker, though. I know you can talk to him.
He's very influential and very powerful on my show. Very much so.
He's like an oligarch of the BTLS.
He is my.
I wonder if that's part of the problem.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
The problem that I'm not my own man, that I'm his bitch. You calling me Diaco's bitch? Is that what you call me?
I was very careful not to use the word bitch.
Yeah. Well, you're Boziak's bitch and Danny's bitch and my bitch. And we're taller than you. Just I'm fat. You are
working for me.
Now you got a beautiful hairline and a nice jaw.
You still got the same girl? You got the same girl?
Same girl that dislikes you. Same one you gave Oh, I should show you. Remember the gator head you gave me?
Right.
I mounted it. It looks amazing, and I tell everybody when they come in that Bubba the Love Sponge gave me that.
Right, and then they piss on it and said, "Fuck that guy." You let Hogan
They
fuck his
do
wife.
not. Only half of them. Only half.
Now, how about your girlfriend? She still hates me.
Yeah.
Why?
Especially after you ditched me. Especially after that, she said, "I told you not to trust that guy. I told you."
Fuck that. I mean, she's got me completely wrong.
We got to get her in here on the mic.
Let's get her on the mic.
She's got a good story.
Bring her in here. I'll be like, listen, first of all, let's you and I bury the hatchet, honey. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry you got to fucking be with short doggy dog all your life. But here's the deal. We got off to a bad start. I like you. You like me. Let's talk. Keep fucking short doggy dog out there. Keep him in the green room. He'll be. You want to drive Matt Cox insane? Interview his girl and make him stay in the green room. He'll flip the fuck out.
I would be. Listen, nothing would impress me more if you could sway her. That would be impressive.
To get her to come on the show.
Yeah, and bury the hatchet and be like, hey, what's the problem? What's the issue?
Where's she at right now? Where's she at right now?
She's at work right now. She's a marine mechanic.
Okay. I probably shouldn't call her at work now, should I?
No.
All right.
She would lose it, bro.
Right. So how about...
It would be great, though.
It would be good. What if we conference called her and be like, listen, we're live on live with a Danny and a Boziak kicker here, and we're asking what's her first name only?
Jess.
Jessica,
yeah.
Jessica.
He's not. Listen,
Jessica, this is Bubba, and I am so sorry that you don't like me. I think we got off to a bad foot. Me and Matt, Matt's big mouth got him in trouble with me, but we're trying to work through that. But I just want to let you know I've heard nothing but great things. More importantly, thank you so much for giving Matt a place to stay when he was down on his luck and had nothing to fucking do or say, and he's a fucking bullshit artist. And thank you for taking care of him. And would you accept my apology? And would you come on my show?
I think that would be great off air.
Oh, I do.
She would lose it. She'd lose, bro. What are you trying to do? I just got this chick in the position I need her.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, Jessica, run. You're getting worked. He's got Boziak for backup. You're fucked. Get the hell out of there, Jess.
Oh my God.
You got two fucking bad guys. Two guys that did 450 years total time in federal prison trying to fucking steal your 401k from the Marine place. Fuck, get the hell out of there immediately.
Has he ever seen Boziak? Like Danny?
Probably.
Am I fucking with the wrong guy on the Boziak?
No,
bro. He
nice
looks
guy.
like he did time. Like I don't look like I did time.
He looks like he has a giant Illuminati tattoo on his skull.
What?
Boziak does.
Boziak does?
Yeah, covering his whole entire skull.
But not everybody with fucking tattoos are tough. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely not.
I'm not saying he's tough. I'm saying he looks like he's done some serious time. He looks.
No, he's not on here. I don't update this as much. But if you just go to YouTube and just Google John Boziak, it'll probably pull up my podcast with him.
Will it have his mugshot too?
Yeah. I don't know about the mugshot. It'll probably just have his face on the front of an American Express card.
Oh, that's that guy?
Yeah.
Oh, he was a credit card fraudster,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
Hey, tell Boziak, back in the day, I used to have an American Express black card back in the day, made out of metal.
He just said pretty impressive. Listen, he sold $3.5 million worth of credit cards, counterfeit credit cards to the Russian mob.
Oh, he's been dealing with the Russian motherfuckers too? Which one's Boziak? I'm looking at right here.
Far left, top left. Down, down,
right
there.
Here?
Yep.
He looks like a poor man's Vanilla Ice. Look at him. Hey, Vanilla Ice called wants his identity back, bitch. Would you make a fucking Robbie Van Winkle card? Look at
Road didn't exist. The dark web didn't exist. The onion router wasn't even a thing.
People always think
no
you
Tor,
are.
no
Rob Deirdrick. He gets a lot. We were in Vegas and guys were stopping him on the strip asking him they thought he was Rob Deirdrick.
He's like, I'm not Rob Deirdrick, but I got Rob Deirdrick's fucking credit card. I'll tell you that right now.
Wow. Yeah.
Hold on. You two mobsters are living together? With Jessica?
Yeah, they got like a true crime clout house.
Man, this is a true crime fucking trap house is what it is. Holy shit. Don't think the feds don't look at that place every day. They got that whole place wired up, everything. You guys are up to no good, you two together. Please. You're the world's greatest theft identity, and he's the world's greatest credit card maker. You guys are probably rolling it in right now. Fuck.
I feel like you just got me back for the Iago comment.
True crime influencers.
Now you two fucks know you got to stay on the up and up because they really, one more fuck up from either one of you guys, and you guys are going away for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
You still got paper, Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah. How much longer?
Yeah.
Bosiak doesn't have any paper, does he?
No, he's never successfully completed a probation.
See, I watched that podcast, Danny, on Concrete, where Matt was talking about how the feds were just so fucking fed up with Bosiak's bullshit that they just said, "Fuck the paper. He cannot abide by any rules. He's uncontrollable."
Let him loose.
Yeah, I watched that one. I want that guy in here. He's not going to fuck with Diaco.
Yeah, he knows better.
No, you know what
No,
Diaco's going to do? Diaco's going to give Bosiak's girls some free fucking tits that you have to look at, buddy.
Oh,
there
shit.
you go.
He might give Bosiak a whole new toupee, like one of those permanent toupees.
There's Matt Cox right there. Look at him.
He doesn't even need a toupee. This is what's so upsetting about him. He shaves his head and he has a full head of hair. He has a full, thick head of blonde hair, and he shaved it.
He didn't have to.
Infuriating.
He didn't have to do 15 reverse mortgage fucking deals to get his hair like you did.
No.
Look at Matt Cox, and the only thing Matt Cox wants is a Kurt Douglas chin. That's the only thing he wants. I mean, how bad would you feel if Dr. Diaco goes, you know what? I know you talk some shit, man, but I was ready to give you that chin for free, buddy. And then you talked all that shit about me. I'm the number one chin guy in the world. You just fucked up. Yeah, he is I mean, he's pretty damn good. But
I heard he's up there in the hairlines too. I heard you can put a pretty tight hairline on somebody.
Look at Bosiak, this motherfucker. Look at he's shot out of a cannon. I love this guy. Look at all that gold and shit. Is it real?
He said, "Of course."
Yeah, that is great.
I don't know. We might need to get the gold checker.
It's like Jim Norton trying to do a character.
Tell Bosiak I'm bringing one of those real diamond checkers in when he comes in. Okay, like the rap guys do.
He has no problem.
Hell, you guys could live 3 years just if he just went and pawed off his fucking shit. You guys could make it for. Look how much shit he's got. And I'm supposed to get some type of response from you, Matt. We're doing radio.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm on the phone. I'm not staring at any gold.
We're in the communication. No, you're staring at the guy I'm talking about, buddy.
He's not wearing the gold.
No, he's not. I thought he rolled around.
He only wears it on air.
That's his show gold. That's his doing a podcast gold. That is going to. Is that his going to church gold right there? You know when he's
exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen.
Podcast show gold.
Matt, now
he wears his Versace glasses all the time, though. He's always got his Versaces on.
How does he do? How does Bosiak do with the ladies?
Yeah, it's good, but they're crazy. He gets these crazy ones.
Well, but boy, if you can turn those crazy ones into something, to really, they're hardcore. They're,
He's working on it, he said.
He'll either come or cut you, one of the two.
Both.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Plus, he's driving a new Cadillac.
He's driving a new Cadillac?
He's a new Cadillac.
How'd he get that? Whose fucking car did he rip off on that one?
That's what I'm saying.
He's a hustler. He's doing good.
How long's he been out for?
Oh, for this time, 7 years.
Yeah. Oh, he's been out 7 years this time? The thing about you guys is I want to be your friends, but I'm so afraid that at the end of the day you're going to have a relapse on my shit, and I'm going to end up getting all my shit stolen.
It'll happen.
Doesn't that scare you, Blitz, that they're sizing all our shit up and trying to find
Absolutely.
Oh, my God.
Trying to find our router numbers or some kind of bullshit so they can get into our fucking bank account. I'm so scared of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys could just if you guys could spare me on your hacking, I'd really appreciate it, please.
Listen, I cannot be in front of that judge again. Absolutely not.
Hold on. Fuck the judge. I'd be more scared of that female FBI agent that hates your guts.
Mm-hmm.
Candace Calderon.
Yeah, that bitch fucking will. Oh, she'll come down here and shoot you on stuff. And do you know how close my studio is to the FBI building?
I thought the FBI is downtown.
No, FBI building is 0.4 of a mile from here. They probably smelled you down here. Like, fuck, we know we smell a rat. There's fucking Matt Cox down there.
That's uncomfortable.
Hey, I'm just fucking with you, and I look forward to having you and Bosiak. Tell Bosiak that I want to have I like to have both of you good motherfuckers on my show.
That'd be great.
Danny, would you help me broker it? We could even do it right here if you wanted to. You could have all the footage. I'll have all the footage. We'll all share footage. Like, do the podcasters ever do that? You're on my show, and you're on my show, and I'm on your show. So here's the footage. You take it, and I'll take it, and we go do our own fucking shit with it.
Yeah. I interviewed Danny on his set and posted it on my channel the other day.
Yeah, but you don't have
I
near
think
the
I'm the
facilities.
first person to ever interview Danny.
You are. Matt Cox is the first person to ever do a proper. Actually, yeah, first person.
Did he do better than me?
No, he didn't do better than you, Bubba.
Exactly.
He said
No,
his
come on, I don't
his
have
first
50 years
question was,
experience.
as I kind of razzed him for it during the interview. His first question was, "So, where were you born?" I was like, that's
man,
how
I
you're
can
gonna
teach you a
start
few
this shit?
things, buddy. I mean, come on, man.
I'll be much better in 30 years.
Yeah,
Yeah, you haven't had 30 years of training.
That's
like
true. Well, listen, Matt. I did enjoy you as a guest, but now I do remember. Yeah, you're on the no-fly zone. You're on the you're on the. Yeah, you really dropped.
upsetting.
You really dropped the mic. I mean, there's dropping the mic, and then
I
there's.
dropped it at all.
I mean, fuck.
But I hear you. I'm
gonna get all this patched up because I like to do a job. I don't want to do a job with you and Boziak. I want to do a show with you too. And Danny, I need you in here for for some peace purposes.
Yeah, I'll help lobby.
You guys aren't allowed to carry guns or knives or anything, are you?
Absolutely not.
All right. Well, I am because I just want to let you know that. But tell Boziak I'm going to be strapped the entire time. Okay.
I can be strapped too.
Got it. All right.
How can he be strapped?
He can't.
Put Boziak on real fast.
He can't.
Put him on real fast.
Hello.
Hey, Boziak, I'm just fucking with you. I don't want no problems with you, okay, buddy?
Oh, that's no worries.
And I like fucking with Short Doggy Dog there too a lot. Okay, so just don't get mad at me or nothing.
Oh,
okay?
we all like fucking with Short Doggy Dog over here.
Exactly. So listen, me, you, and Danny and Short Doggy Dog are gonna do a show one of these days. Okay, bud?
Yeah, that would be dope.
All right, buddy. Tell Matt thank you for being a good sport. I'm gonna try to work on that Diaco relationship. Okay.
All right, man. Set it up.
See you later, buddy.
All right, later.
Bye. Danny, we could have some fun over here.
Yeah,
buddy.
we could have a good time. We gotta bring that shower back into use. Maybe get Matt's girlfriend in there.
I think we need to try to fucking calm Dan Diaco down first and foremost.
Yeah, how are you gonna do that?
I don't know. I think this would be probably a good time for me to show you the rest of the facilities, including the goats, and for us to wrap this up, my friend.
All right. Well, thanks for having me on, man. I really appreciate it.
And I want to show you around a little bit.
I'd love to see the place.
We
I want to see all the hidden caverns in here.
Oh, there's a lot. Some people will know about some of the hidden caverns, and some like Blitz has a few of these secret little doors that look like walls that turn around. He keeps a lot of his guns and shit. So yeah,
that's my goal, to get a place like this.
Yeah. Well, my goal is to have 463,000 subscribers, and your goal is to have a studio like this. So let's become goal partners, buddy.
We should do it. Yeah, trade goals.
Anna, anything in closing, my friend? I didn't want to.
I have some ideas for
please do.
for guests like on his show and stuff, but I didn't. I don't want to be that person that's like you should have a.
How about we have them on?
Yeah, Anna, fucking bitch. How about we have them on? Fuck Danny
We
Jones.
could have them on, but I feel like they would be more congruent with the stuff that he talks about.
All right, let's go. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
We're
Let's
listening.
go.
Oh, right now I was going to do it after the show.
We should do it live.
We should do it.
Have you watched the documentary Wormwood?
Yes, I love that documentary.
Have you thought about maybe reaching out to the son who tells the story about his father?
Yeah, Hamilton Morris.
I think it's Eric Olson is his son.
Oh, the actual guy the documentary's about. No,
yeah.
actually,
because he's the one that tells the story.
I think I looked him up, but
Okay.
That documentary was amazing, and I reached out to Hamilton Morris. Who
is that the one who?
He's the
directed
son of the director who made
Okay.
that film, Errol Morris. Hamilton actually used to have he has his own show. It used to be on Vice. I'm not sure what it's on now.
Your program kind of reminds me of obviously Vice is more of documentary style, but a lot of those stories and people that they follow, I feel like would also be on your show.
Yeah, that's the kind of guest that I like the most. Is people that I just find under rocks that no one's ever heard of.
Right.
Not typical Bubba Love Sponge super A-list celebrity radio stars, but people that no one's heard of that kind of
have an interesting story
that's
to
who
tell.
Matt was. Matt had never been on the internet, never done anything on the internet. No one knew who the fuck he was other than some Dateline thing he did in the 90s.
And actually, my agent, Tom Bean, got a hold of me because one of his friends watched your podcast with Matt and told me to go watch. So I went and watched, when I had Matt on, I went and watched, his podcast with you. Then I had him on. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
Because a lot of the guests that he has, he's able to do more of a long form thing, whereas with us, it's maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes in and out.
No. I mean, on conventional radio,
Yeah.
if we did conventional radio, but we could, we can go long form.
Okay.
Look how long we went here.
Right. Okay. Well, on terrestrial. All All right, yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about that because there's a lot of
What
like
else?
the MK Ultra.
What other?
Well, that was the one that I was thinking of, and I started looking him up and stuff. I just thought maybe that's a good idea, but it sounds like you've already looked into it. So
yeah, I've reached out. I've reached out to, like I said, the director of that documentary. I'd love to get him on there.
It was really, really good. I got like goosebumps at the end of that, and that rarely happens.
Did you know Blitz, my main guy over there, and her, they're dating? Did you know that?
Who's dating?
Me and that guy.
Her and that guy. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well,
Thanks for
inter office romance. We got our own controversies going on right
Yeah,
now.
Bubba set him up in February.
I set him up.
Valentine's Day
Yeah,
special.
he gets all the credit.
And then Blitz brought her out of her shell with his dick.
Can I ask you a question, Danny? Does your wife hate me?
No, my wife doesn't hate you.
All right, cool.
Not at all. Especially now that you got my son a gift, she really is going to love you.
Well,
what do you get?
I don't know. I haven't opened it yet. Should I open it or should I let him open it?
No, let him open it.
Okay.
Let him open it. Yeah, let him open it.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, she's really gonna like me now.
Yeah, she is.
I thought she might got a little mad at me when I told you to get a vasectomy and not have that third child. But deep down, that's the problem. Like look at
That was so funny,
Matt
by the
Cox.
way.
Matt Cox, his significant other hates me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why.
Yeah, my wife's got a really good sense of humor. She doesn't hate you.
I hope not.
No, she does. There's. It's really hard to get her to hate somebody.
Anna, do your female friends hate me?
I have no female friends.
Oh. Well, I know your spouse hates me.
I'm just kidding.
So,
No, they don't hate you.
Does Blitz hate me deep down, or deep down does he have as much love for me as I have for him?
He has a lot of love for you, Bubba.
You didn't answer the question.
Yeah.
No problem. Blitz, let's go ahead and wrap this up.
I love you. I love Dr. Dan. Fuck those scammer pieces of shit.
Yeah, good Dr. Dan.
Love you, Dr. Dan.
Yep.
Love you, Dr. Dan. Love
He's
you,
a
Dr.
hero.
Dan. Fuck those scammers.
He's a
Fuck
hero.
fake
Fuck those
man.
trash talking scammers.
Fuck that. Fuck that short doggy dog and that Vanilla Ice kicker.
I agree.
Fuck those two. And by the way, Vanilla Ice had no heat with Dan at all. Just for the record, Blitz.
Oh, yeah.
Boziak didn't say shit. He's like, I ain't got nothing. Fucking Matt's the one that doubled down and threw fucking nitrous on the fire with the Yaka.
If you really knew it was good, you should get them both on here to hash it out on the radio
Christ.
show. You really have to do that.
Oh, fuck.
This whole place would go up in smoke.
Got to do it.
Dan is Matt Cox times 100 on intenseness.
That's good radio, isn't it?
With money. Yeah. It could ruin a friendship, though.
Mm-hmm.
And he's one of my best friends. Matt was.
You got to know where to draw the line.
Matt was?
I'm just fucking with you, Blitz. Dan's my boyfriend. Hey, Danny Jones, I hope I did okay. I mean, you've not been interviewed a lot. You're usually on the other side of the deal.
Yeah. It's not natural for me to be the one being interviewed, so thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for maybe helping us down the road, too, as well.
Yes, and the same goes to you. Thank you for having me here. Very grateful, and grateful to be your friend.